Hello,
Alright, I'm gonna
hello.
call.
We live.
Alright,
We're live.
alright, I'm calling him.
Yeah, give that man a call. What's cracking, people? We're waiting on our guy Larry Bones. Then when he gets in here, the show will start. The presentation will stop looking so goofy.
Or will it? Or will it?
Indeed, it will. I have faith.
Shit, my lighting still looks ominous as shit. I'm terrified.
Philip
Ah!
looks so scary right now. You wouldn't believe it. He's got me shaking in my boots.
Got me a lollipop too. Feeling like a real.
Dang. Philip White's really looking scary as shit right now. I'm
lollipop, Momo.
I'm glad he's not wearing a propeller hat.
Dude, if only.
I would have to leave because I would be so scared.
Watch me put on my my suspenders, little like light blue button up. Where the fuck is he? Where the fuck is he? Where he at, huh?
For real.
$5 says he fell back asleep.
$5 says he didn't. You're on.
You know what? I take back my $5.
It's because he's broke. He can't afford it.
Relax, cuh. Excuse me, sir. Please relax.
You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow.
Opportunity comes once in a lifetime. Bam, 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 bam. Already referencing our own meme material.
What? What? Starting in however long it takes Harry to get here, or 5 minutes from now. 10:33.
Plan. Wait. I literally can't wait.
Neither can I.
The army is doing something about the weather.
Yeah. I'm back, nigga. Yeah, I'm back, nigga.
Oh, he's back.
He's so back.
Fuck all that who the best shit. This and that.
I'm gonna video
I know
call
what
him.
the fuck it is with me.
Yeah, call that man.
The butcher coming, nigga. Yo.
Last year was about Brandon. This year it's about expanded.
Caught a flight to Cali, May 24 I landed. This rap shit easy. Tell the truth, I can't stand it. If I ain't had these F's, I put a brick in transit. Ask about me. All I did was get advice from niggas who sellin' white. Threw the money on the table before the plug said the price. I was eager, ain't no tomorrows. I could be dead tonight. I was seasoned like pad leather. Jordan 11 Mike. I need a trunk full of cash. My foot stuck to the gas. That's a buck in the stash. Doing $1.50. I hung with hustlers. Guys who sold hundreds of bags. They front you so many onions that it come with a jag. The life of niggas who live it. The price for niggas who did it. Hoes fall in love when you look like a nigga who get it. I know how I feel when they don't like that you did it different. Cause they dick riding trends just like them niggas you mimic. Yeah, I was young in my prison phases. How you know you really gangster? Jail cells where I learned decision making. 50 grand in the refrigerator, living room, killers waiting, plastic on the floor like we renovating. This not for kids, so you gotta excuse it. Y'all don't spend enough on guns, but a lot with the jeweler. I spent a bunch on guns and a lot with the jeweler. They bought a crib for my bitch and gave a block to my shooters. Who you know that told Glocks and sold rocks to abusers? The dead record breaking numbers, broke locks for the movement. That was me, with no pops, my coke spots was exclusive. Walk around with this froze watch, cause no ops wanna do it. Let's go, nigga. Fuck is you talking about? Eastside Buffalo shit, nigga. Montana shit. 1300 shit. Free all my niggas, free my nigga C's, free my nigga Duffel Bag, free my cousin Dat. You know how we do this shit, big results and big BSF, nigga. My nigga Hit Boy on the track, nigga. We smoking shit, nigga. Fuck, nigga.
Did you get an answer?
No.
Oh my god!
Don't you get into this family?
What the fuck?
This family comes before anything.
Dude.
I'm calling him too.
you survived the streets. That's almost like basic
Yup.
training. You're a soldier now. And the number one rule
And when I
is
tell you
No,
something,
maybe-
you're gonna
making
listen.
money. This is a business.
When I
It's a
tell
pyramid.
people
What goes
anything,
up, shit goes down.
they're gonna listen.
If there's something to be
They're
sold,
gonna listen to
we're
me.
there.
They understand me.
Yeah. You got the top tier position, and for what? Because you're a good earner.
Hello,
You got your honor.
baby.
Not like these other folks that
Hello.
act like they're made of
Well,
money,
waiting
when all
for
they are is
you.
certified bridesmaids. You'll keep that, baby.
Harry actually has 1 minute to get in here.
Okay, I'm reloaded.
What we do? What we do if he's not here? We just pencil the slide and just go. Just two of us. Ugh.
Ugh.
I texted him 30 minutes ago. Said he'd be ready. Does he get the wrong time? Is he?
I told
Is
him
he-
to hop in. I told him that me and you hop in at like 10:05 every time. And the stream starts at 10:20, and then we get the show rolling at 10:30. And he said, "Cool, I'll be there." I just texted saying, "Bro, get over here."
Dude said, no. Actually, yeah.
Calling him again. I'm about to call Goob, bro.
Dude, if I have to call Goob to get to Harry, that's crazy, cuz. I'm gonna call his mom. I'm gonna call his mom, tell him to call him.
Do it.
Can you wake up Harry, please? Can you, like, call him?
Hello, you've reached Harry Jones. I can't come to the phone right now. Please leave a message and I'll get right back to you. Thanks.
Oh, you're gonna get right back to me, huh?
Oh, you're gonna get right back to me, huh?
Yeah,
You're gonna get right
totally.
back to me, huh?
Totally.
Yeah, right back to it. Mm-hmm.
But like, what's rough about this is like, I'm gonna have to like recrop your face, and then when Harry joins your place in the Discord call, we'll change like location of your camera. So then I'll have to crop it again once Harry joins. It's like,
Mm-hmm. Ah. Them first world problems. Oh.
for real,
Oh.
for real.
They're painful, dude. They're painful. Also, I need you to stream in Discord so I could see what slide we're
Oh
on.
yeah.
Because I can see the slides. However, I can't actually see what slide we're on. So how am I supposed to know? You know.
Yeah.
We'll give them 2 more minutes. If not, then I think we just gotta start.
Yeah. Oh my God, Larry Bones, Larry Bones.
I mean, yeah. We call that reality.
Indeed.
How we doing today, folks?
Yeah, how do we
doing good.
feel? Are we excited for this day of football?
What's your favorite candy? I want to know.
Yeah. Best candy?
And I want to know your favorite candy, and then I want to know why it's Twix bar. And tell me why it's Twix bar, because
Well,
it is.
Do
Ice
you
candy.
do you prefer fruity candy or chocolate?
Oh, chocolate.
Our viewer in the
All right, fine. No.
Twitch.
Hold on. That's 2 different questions. Favorite chocolate versus favorite fruity candy. Because favorite chocolate
it is kind of different
is
sports.
Twix bar.
Favorite
Well,
chocolate
yeah.
is probably the Twix bar. You got that right.
It's like American football and then like soccer, like football. Football versus football. It's 2 different things.
Indeed. Bro, I was oh, come on, Harry Jones. All right, it's 10:35. We got to get it rolling.
Twix bar for chocolate, and then I think the other way is, I gotta think. I don't know actually. Maybe Starburst.
Starburst. Starburst used to be a massive hit for me, but I kind of fell
No,
off the
don't act
map
like
with
it's
it.
not. Don't act like it's not, because it still is. You haven't had a Starburst in a while. That's your problem. When you get back to it, you'll be like, oh my gosh, best candy I've ever had in my life. Literally ever. Do you know like those? I've never seen them. I always see them in like old people when they give out candy. It's those strawberry candies that have the strawberry wrapper,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
what it is. like I don't know what it's called, so I
yeah,
can
they
never
don't really have a name.
get it. I just call them, I don't know, I just think strawberries, but they're not strawberries. It's like a candy that's wrapped in strawberry. I don't know where they get them. I still don't. I've never asked, but one of these days I will.
Yo, Phil, can you
I'm
talk
going
for me real
to-
quick?
No, I don't think I will.
All
I
right,
think that's
sick.
really a
Looks
waste of
great.
time. No, I don't think I will. I think that's kind of a waste of time, like, dude, come
All right, cool. This looks fine. We will. I'll just be able to crop Harry's in. I think. Actually, no, because the position of yours will change. So we're gonna need to do some cropping once Harry gets in, but it's all good. All right. Show is officially starting. It is 10:37 a.m. Philip White has a lollipop. I look like I'm 30 today with this outfit and my new haircut. We're back again. 10th week in a row. That's how consistent we are. We have the Sunday show today. We're about to talk about all the football games. Tuesdays or Wednesdays, we do our podcast. And also, this Tuesday, I'm interviewing an artist that I think is very special named Maymung, a.k.a. Raymond Amaya. Look him up on Apple Music, Maymung. He just put out his debut album. Going to be interviewing him. But yes, folks, we are back for the NFL pregame show. Massive games today. I know Philip White's excited for the Steelers-Commanders game. If you would be so kind to send us an email at primetimewithtaffandphil@gmail.com. Check us out on Instagram. We're posting memes and stuff. We kind of got a little bit of ghetto Gronk to us. We got that ghetto Gronk in us, if you ever heard of him. And on the YouTube.
Whoa, dude. Whoa.
What?
Relax. We're not on Ghetto Gronk's level. We're not there yet.
That's true.
Not
That's
there.
true.
Pay some respect to the legends of the game. Then we'll get. You don't move up without paying up, and we got to pay our respects.
Indeed. Shout out Ghetto Gronk. Check out Primetime with Taff and Phil. Also our YouTube channel. We've got stuff crack-a-lacking over there, so make sure to check that out. And also, if you're interested, and maybe you're thinking to yourself, man, it would be awesome if there was a centralized location for all of this stuff where I could hear about everything that's going on with these guys and anything they're setting up, and maybe I could connect with people and maybe like play video games with them or talk sports with them or ask fantasy football questions. Boy, do I have the spot for you. Our Discord. Check it out. If
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, if you're in our Twitch chat, you can type in !Discord and a invite link will just pop up directly in chat to you. You click it, boom, you're in. If you're interested in calling into the show, do that there. If you're on the YouTube channel or for whatever reason the !Discord chat isn't working for you, just click on our channel and the link is right there.
It'll be right there.
Yeah,
it'll be right there.
Right
It'll
there.
be
On
right
our
there.
page. Right there.
Right there. That's awesome. That's good to hear. That's sick. What's it called? It's called The Cord. Is that what it says? Is that what I'm clicking on?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm clicking on-
The official Prime
Oh my
Time
gosh.
Discord.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god. It's right there. It's right there. I see it.
It's
I see it.
insane.
It's right there.
It's insane.
It's right there.
I'll
You
even-
should go click on it and check it out.
I'll even try this right now. Check this out. Oh my god, it worked.
Oh my gosh.
Look at that.
Look at that. Exclamation Discord. There it is. There it is. For any of you interested, it's right there. That's the link. That's the link. Trust us. It's not malware. I already tried it, and if it did, my computer would already crash. So there you go.
Philip White
Check out
does have a
Discord.
history of giving people malware, but he's not lying this time.
That's opposite. I always get malware. I don't actually give it out. I am the receiver of the malware. I'm not the giver of the malware.
That's true.
I'm just an expert in that.
That's true. You do receive a lot of malware.
But welcome in.
Indeed. Welcome,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen.
Some week 10 stuff. It's officially 10:40 a.m. It's a lovely Sunday morning. We're glad you're here watching with us. We got a lot of stuff to go over. Number 1, we got to recap Thursday Night Football. Number 2, we got to get a look at the current standings of the league, see what's going on, take a look at that beautiful playoff picture. Then we'll be getting into each and every single game, starting all the way in Germany, which is happening right now. If you haven't checked that game out between the Panthers and the Giants, all the way to Monday Night Football, where the Rams will be hosting the Miami Dolphins in SoFi Stadium. We're going all the way through from Germany today. to Los Angeles tomorrow. We're going to follow that up with our locks of the week, and then we're going to have the touchdown trifecta, because I know that's what you're all excited to see. And finally, we'll be wrapping up with our game picks of the week. But before we get into all of that, actually, no, I don't got anything. Because but maybe, I was supposed to be a special guest, but he will likely be showing up hopefully in the next 20 minutes.
Fashionably
Yeah.
late.
It's fashionably late, exactly. But we're not going to reveal who that guest is. Who could that guest be? It's not like we just talked about it 10 minutes ago. There's no way you'll know who the guest is. So
And it's not like we just flipped past his slide on the slideshow. So maybe
No.
you got a little sneak peek there. I'll give you a hint. He's not currently affiliated with an NFL team.
That could be anybody, dude. I'll give you a hint. He's everyone's favorite local celebrity.
Yeah.
I'll give you one more hint. Nah, that's all you get. No
Yeah,
more
that's all you get. He's everybody's favorite local celebrity. He's very famous in Rochester, New York. That's it. That's all you get.
Hopefully he can join us within the coming minutes. If that is not the case, we will continue on as we always do. Awesomely.
Indeed.
Not a word, but I made it up and it's delicious.
Indeed. All right, so Thursday night, we had a Cincinnati Bengals team square off against the Ravens. Cincinnati, yet again, tried and failed to return to 500. Now, I will say it was a fantastic game. I mean, Jamar Chase put up 67 fantasy points in PPR leagues with 11 receptions, 264 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Joe Burrow, of course, balled out as well. It was more than just Jamar he was throwing to. Great game. Unfortunately, they lost 34-35, and on that last play, the Ravens got 30 yards in penalties, but here's the thing. The refs didn't call it. They wanted to go home. They did not want that overtime pay.
They did not.
They
The thing Burrow dominated in this game. That's the one thing I was going to look at. 35. I mean, he was very good. 35 of 56, 428, 4 touchdowns. Dude's a beast. Lamar Jackson, though, was incredible. I got to give his credit. There are 2 things in this game. Number one, let's start with the officiating. That was disappointing.
Abysmal.
It was such a good game. Everything about the game was awesome until literally that happened. You have this awful, clear face mask. You have this, I think it was either holding, I believe, on Mike Gesicki on the left side of the field, doesn't allow him to get off the route at all.
roughing, too.
Well, yeah, but I associated that with the face mask penalty, on just the 2-point conversion. That ending was not the ending anybody wanted. They wanted to probably see Cincinnati get the 2 or see Cincinnati fail to get the 2, but at the very least, it would have been not interfered with by the refs. They should have just called that penalty. And I feel like a lot of comments I saw basically were, if that's Patrick Mahomes, if that's Travis Kelce, that's getting called. That's getting called every way to Sunday. And it's a tough loss for the Bengals. I mean, that's at the very least you want that opportunity. But my gosh, that's rough for them to.
Yeah, it's been such a tough season for the Bengals, man. I saw this caption on Instagram, and they said the Bengals got to be the best bad team of all time. They have lost I guess it comes down to good teams win games down the stretch. Every time they've had a game down the stretch, they've lost, and I think at this point that's got to be affecting your team's mentality. And yeah, I think it might just be over for the Bengals from here, because if you lose that many games down the stretch, I mean, you have the Chiefs game in week 2 where there was a blatant pass interference call. You have honestly, I can't remember. I'm drawing a blank on the other down the stretch games, but if you've been watching the Bengals this year, you know that this team has been losing so many games down the stretch. They weren't able to pull out one, and that's why they're 4-6. And I just think it's over for them. It's something.
Really?
Yeah.
You think it's over right now?
You
think it's impossible for them to make the playoffs at this point right now?
I don't think that they're gonna be able to do it. I just don't.
I don't think it's impossible. I just think it's slim. But I think the chances are still there after what we saw from Jamar and Burrow tonight, or the other night rather.
Yeah, I mean, it's just they've lost so many games down the stretch. That defense is terrible. They don't handle business down the stretch. They haven't proven that they can do that all year. I don't see any reason for it to change despite the great performances. Like,
I
don't
don't
know.
know. I think if you have that offense, you still have a chance with how talented their offense is. I think their defense is definitely unathletic, but I think if you have Joe Burrow at the helm, there's always a chance. What bothers me too is I looked at the other interesting thing that I'll bring into is the overtime versus going for 2 debate. Like, do you go for overtime or you go for 2? We can get into that in a second. But I don't see how Cincinnati. Look at the AFC. Like, of the wild card teams, like Denver is probably going to lose this week to Kansas City. If I had to guess, they played the Chiefs this week. Cincinnati's not done. I mean, they'd have to go on a crazy hot streak, but I wouldn't say they're done. Like, they still got a shot.
Yeah, they still have a shot. Do you know their upcoming games?
Yeah, I can take a look.
Okay, cool.
I know that they have the Steelers twice, obviously. That's going to be tough. If you were rooting them out for that, having to play the Steelers twice, I mean, I get that. That I understand. Playing the Steelers twice is really, really challenging, and I totally get it. And listen, I mean, it's just that's the way the cookie crumbles. But hey, so here's what they got. They're not out of this. They play both the Chargers and the Broncos in the second half of the year. Those are the 2 critical games because those are the 2 wild card teams, right? You play Pittsburgh twice. You get Chargers on the road, Steelers at home. Then you go to Dallas, you go to Tennessee, you host Cleveland, you host Denver, and then you go to Pittsburgh final game of the year. That could potentially lead. But again, you get the 2 important games. You get to play the Chargers, you get to play the Broncos. You win those 2, then you also have games against the Dallas Cowboys, who won't have Dak. You got the Tennessee Titans, who are just bad. You got the Cleveland Browns, who are just bad. There's really 4 critical matchups here that the Cincinnati Bengals need to win, and then I expect them to win probably those 3 against Dallas and Tennessee and Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think it's out of the imagination to say Cincinnati could end up in the postseason with the slate of games that they do have. That's what I would say. I wouldn't call it impossible. It's slim, but not impossible.
Yeah, the rest of their schedule is actually pretty tame, excluding the Steelers. I mean, the Cowboys haven't been good. They're now without Dak. So yeah, I guess we'll see what happens.
I mean, look, they're better than the Jets got to win today to even have their record. So, I mean, look, dude, you lock it into I'm just saying they'd have to win today to have the Bengals record, which is 4-6.
Yeah, we're gonna do that.
Okay.
I've got all the faith in the world.
Okay.
Right. On to the next.
Take a look at these divisional standings. Take a look at these divisional standings throughout the AFC, dude.
Indeed.
Look at that. Any surprises on right away that you see?
We just lost connection to both of our streams.
Well, that's a problem.
That is a problem. What the heck?
Uh-oh.
Wait, let me just make sure real quick. What's going on? Fuck. Let me just double check because restream. Okay, we're back.
I still see it. Yeah, I was gonna say I still see it on the. I just went in to check. It's still there.
Okay, sick. Yeah, let me just pull the stream up so I make sure that we are still connected and with you.
On a side note, when I'm talking about lollipops, which one is better? The one with the bubble gum in the middle or the one with the Tootsie Roll in the middle?
They're both not that good, but the one with the bubble gum in the middle.
Ugh. Tootsie Roll.
You're not a... No, I just... Because what flavor is
How
the
many
Tootsie Roll
licks does
lollipop?
it take? How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? Let's find out.
I don't want to find out.
Well, I find out every time I find out, it's amazing because I get a little piece of chocolate. Instead, you just get this gross-looking, like organ-infested piece of bubble gum, and it looks gross. That's all. That's just
because I love the strawberry flavor of the, the one with the bubble gum.
But it's not strawberry flavored. It's
It's
just
totally strawberry
it's just a
flavored.
piece of rock. No, it's nothing. There's nothing
No,
flavor.
that is strawberry / cherry flavored. The one with the bubble gum.
All right.
All right, let's look at these conference standings. Let us know in the chat, Tootsie Pop or the strawberry one with the bubble gum.
Tootsie Roll.
No, sir. Never in your
Anyway,
life.
what is the biggest shock here? Like I'm looking at it, and the biggest shock to me, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't expect the Broncos. Oh, obviously the Broncos having a winning record is kind of shocking, but looking at like Miami at 2-6 just feels weird.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's Kansas City at 8-0 with their such cheap path to their 8-0 record, playing the freaking they only beat the Raiders by a touchdown, and then you get to play a Bucks team without Evans or Godwin. It's whack. And then the Steelers also at 6-2. I expected them to be good, but not 6-2 good.
Oh, you could have. I think I'm gonna well up with tears.
Also, the Jets at 3-6 is just wild, but the
Much accurate.
that's bro. Yeah, I guess to anybody that's not a Jets fan, that's accurate.
You know what's shocking
But-
is that they're in second place.
Yeah. What else is shocking is that they're in second place. Y'all remember when the AFC East was the most competitive, considered one of the most competitive divisions in football a year or two ago? Like, take me back. Yeah, with the Dolphins, like you said, I mean, Tua has looked great the past 2 weeks. He was 25 for 28 a week ago. So hopefully he can keep that up this week. But you want to move on to the NFC divisions, then we'll get into these games?
Yeah, I'm down. Let's take a look at the NFC real quick, just
Okay,
to
sick.
give you the idea of what things are looking like. No, Lions dominating the North despite it being incredibly competitive. Atlanta basically with the tightest grip I have ever seen on a division in a little bit. And you got Washington, Philly in a close race for the East. You got a narrow, tight race in the NFC West.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas at 3-5 is kind of funny. That's about it. That's
Yeah,
the main.
you-
That's my takeaway.
You think the Falcons have a tighter grip on their division than the Bills do on the AFC East?
I take it back. I guess I did see it recently that there is a tighter grip on the division. The reason why I think Atlanta's is tighter is just because they swept Tampa. Like Tampa, even if they somehow fall to having the same record as the Bucks, they swept them. Like they beat them twice.
Yeah.
Plus they still get I believe they have one more game against the Panthers, and they have the Saints. I mean, that division just sucks.
Those poor Bucks, man. Poor Baker. He had it all.
You really always like pour this team, pour that team.
Oh, yeah.
NFL, suck it up. We got a winner, we got a loser. I ain't asking.
I mean, they were doing so
I don't need no
good.
sympathy.
They were doing
were.
so good before they lost Evans and Godwin, man. And now they've dropped what? Two straight? 3 straight?
They dropped Tampa. Yeah, they've dropped 3 in a row, I believe.
Ugh,
Right.
man,
Well,
pray for Baker.
no thanks. I'm
All
good.
right.
Mhm.
Now we got the playoff picture. Steelers on their bye week fell to the 3, lost without playing.
Yeah, you're real funny. You're real funny one there, buddy. You're a guy.
Yeah, very exciting. Hopefully the Chiefs don't have the bye week by the end of the season, because I'm tired of it.
Dude, there's no shot. They even if they lose, they still keep the bye. What do you mean?
And they're gonna lose a couple though, and the Bills are gonna
Right,
win a couple.
yeah.
So are the Steelers. It's gonna tighten up in the AFC.
Before we continue, I gotta say something weird, and I want to see if someone can figure this out because I have no idea why. On this playoff sheet, and I went to the NFL playoffs to make sure of it. The Niners are the 9 seed, so they are the 9th team in the NFC. The Rams are the 10 seed. Yet despite that, if you go back to the divisional standings, and again, this is pulled from the NFL.com sheet, Rams are ahead of San Francisco in that. Just like I don't get it. I don't know who is running. Sign me up because someone's got to either A, explain that to me, or B, fix it.
Yeah, that is strange. It seems like somebody might have screwed that up because there's no explanation I can think of for that.
I was like melding in my brain, like the only thing I could think was like, well, the Rams beat the Niners head to head, but yet why are they behind them in the playoff picture if they beat them head to head? It makes no sense.
Yeah, that is interesting. That's strange.
Strange stuff.
All right,
If anyone can figure out why, let me know.
Yeah, let us know, people. All right, next up, we have the teams on their bye week. We've got the Browns, the Packers, the Seahawks, and the Raiders. Unfortunately, we don't get any Jameis Winston this week.
Thank goodness, dude. That
I'm
dude
so sad. I
sucked
can't
last week.
watch the GOAT, bro.
That dude sucked last week.
Yeah, he might have needed a week off, but he'll be back.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next up, we have Germany's final punishment for World War II. We have Bryce Young squaring off against Daniel Jones with a Machine Gun Kelly halftime show. And maybe I shouldn't be saying that it's Germany's final punishment for World War II so loud because we just elected a fascist ourselves. But that is besides the point. Carolina, last I checked, is up 10-0. Let's see. What's the score of that now, Philip White? Do you have that handy?
It's still 10. It's still 10-0. It's still 10-0.
Jeez, no Malik Neighbors touchdown yet.
Nope.
Tragic.
It's tough to say, but it looks like there's not going to be a Malik Neighbors touchdown. I mean, there's still a whole half. There's still time.
Yeah, he's a second half quarterback, Daniel Jones.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, but this has been, first off, let me talk like the preview of this. This has been there's a lot of exciting, I mean, for some reason, Brian Burns coming out saying, this is not a revenge game. Meanwhile, he gets a sack on the second play. This is totally a revenge game. Little tidbits. I mean, look, this is the first time, this is hilarious. The Giants are listed as favorites for the first time in 24 games, and yet they're losing 10-0.
Yeah. That's so Giants.
Like that's hysterical. I know Darius Slayton's not there. I know they're like going to I think Jalen Hyatt should get some opportunities. Hopefully in the second half we can see that. Sexy Dexy right now, second in the NFL with 9 sacks. That's kind of nuts. But I mean, Bryce Young also improving against the blitz. Those are like the main points in this game. But I mean, if you're the Giants, like what is it? I was seeing I saw like a short by I think it's Benchwarmer Brand made this short of like the Panthers are just like this grim reaper that if you're a bad team and you play them, then it's likely your coach is gonna get fired. Like we had last week, it was Dennis Allen for the Saints. This week it's gonna be Brian Daboll for the Giants, and just every team is just slowly losing their coach because the Panthers play them and win.
Daboll.
Like that's what they represent right now.
Yeah, Daboll's got to be on the hot seat already. I mean, this guy came in, the narrative around him is he's this offensive guru or an offensive guy, at least. And he's led them to 2-7 and does things like go for 2 when they're down 8, when they could kick an extra point to only be down 7. And then on that 2-point conversion, they put the offensive line in front of the wide receiver. Like that play against the Steelers.
That was awesome. I don't know. I thought it would have worked.
Yeah,
I would try it.
Totally.
I would have tried it against Pittsburgh. I wouldn't try it against anybody else, but I think you should try it against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, of course. Of course. But yeah, Daboll's got to be on the hot seat. He's playing for his job right now. Coaching for his job right now. And it does not look good.
He should be coaching for his job, and the weird thing is sometimes I feel like it doesn't feel like it. Like the Giants are just like, you know what? We're fine. We're fine being trash. We're fine being terrible.
Yeah, sometimes I feel sad about being a Jets fan, and then I think about the Giants, and it doesn't feel so bad.
I mean, you're only one game better than these guys, so let's.
I mean, but like regardless, like outside of record, I think about their situation. Like they're paying Daniel Jones $50 million a year.
That is valid, yeah.
It doesn't get much worse than that.
I don't know how people be doing that.
Mm-hmm.
How do you take a guy who's like, hey, My best season was like 15 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and like barely 3,000 yards. I don't even know if he hit 3,000 yards that year. And they were like, yeah, that's our guy.
One playoff win, and they were like, this guy is the best to ever do it.
You beat Kirk Cousins, you get blown out on the road to Philadelphia. Yeah, you know what? Let's pay you a boatload of money. That'll work.
Yeah.
I'm confident in this.
Giving people a boatload of money has always made them play better.
Classic. Classic.
Indeed. All right, next up.
By the way, just
Yeah,
for the record's sake, I think we both picked New York for this game because I know the game's going to be over. And then if we say, we had the Panthers the whole time, guys. Giants can come back. Trust me. Trust me, Daniel Jones, the second half quarterback. Everything's going to be fine.
Indeed. I'm thinking 4 Malik Neighbors touchdowns. And
Only? Only?
yeah, exactly. I'm being modest.
Yeah. Only?
I think they might line Malik Neighbors up at cornerback. He gets a pick 6. But yeah.
What, Travis Hunter? Malik Neighbors is now Travis Hunter. All right. All right.
Yep. All right, next up, we got the San Francisco 49ers against the Tampa Bay Bucks. CMC is back for the Niners, which is much needed, as the Niners, after their Super Bowl appearance, are 4-4. CMC is a -210 to score a touchdown today. He is expected to be getting lots of burn. I haven't seen anything about him being on a snap count. And Tampa Bay, as we know, is missing Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Tampa Bay has lost 3 straight. They're a team on a rough stretch, and they are definitely not happy to be seeing CMC in his return to football. Love me some Baker Mayfield, but it does not look optimal for this team.
I think, you know what? You just never know. I mean, listen, team on a skid, they might be desperate. They might come out guns blazing. Who knows? But they have not won since their trip to New Orleans against Spencer Rattler. They dipped from 4-2 to 4-5. It's especially it's not great playing against CMC right now. And again, after, as I mentioned earlier, you've got a team that's been swept by the Falcons, who are leading that division. So your best chances are at a wild card spot, and in an NFC that is very tight right now. You've got teams that are in the wild card that look very strong, like the Eagles, like the Packers. Then you've got teams just on the outside, like San Francisco, LA, even Chicago is still technically there, even though I don't buy into them. Those are teams that could have that shot of jumping into the postseason. Right now, Tampa sits as the 11 seed at 4-5. And with still obviously Godwin's going to be out for the year. Evans doesn't return this week. You're going against the San Francisco team coming off of a bye, with Kyle Shanahan being as prepared as he is. And the one thing I'll say for San Francisco is that this has got to be, if they're going to prove that they can make those playoffs and be legitimate and, challenge and try to get back in those postseasons, it's got to be right now. I mean, this is the time where you start winning, because it doesn't get easier. I mean, Tampa, you get Seattle next week, which is a little bit of a break. Then you've got Green Bay on the road. You'll have Buffalo on the road. You host Chicago. You host the Rams, who beat you earlier this year. You go to Miami. That one you could argue is going to be easy, but they just played Buffalo really close, and we've seen what the difference is for that team with Tua in the lineup. You get Detroit towards the end of the year, and then you close out the season at Arizona. That could be for the division. That is very much a game that could end up being in prime time, depending on where the Cardinals and Niners seasons go.
Indeed. You spelt it out perfectly. I don't have a ton to add to that. It just seems like it keeps getting tougher for the Bucs, man, and it's a little upsetting because it looked like they were on the up and up. Maybe they were going to make a little noise this year come playoff time. I mean, through only 6 weeks when they were sitting at 4-2, they looked great. I miss my guy Mike Evans very much. And yeah.
Like for San Francisco, I gave you San Francisco's schedule.
Oh, that was San Francisco. Yeah, my bad. I was looking at some technical difficulty things on San Fran. I have faith in San Fran, man. It might take a game for them to look like their old selves, and I don't even know. I don't think they'll be looking as good as they did a year ago, in any stretch. But I mean, you just got the best running back in football back, and that's your guy.
The X factor.
So, I think San Fran is about to crawl out of that fringe playoff spot in that playoff picture and start making some noise. There's no reason not to believe that. Tampa just keeps getting worse. And, yeah.
I'll give credit to Baker, though. He played incredibly well on Monday Night Football in the rain, all things considered. If you're down, I mean, most
True.
guys down their top 2 receivers would incredibly have struggled in that situation. Baker is. Obviously, last night, going into that game, he was having multiple turnovers, trying to force the ball because he doesn't have his top guys. That being said, going in to KC, which is never an easy place to play, and to do what he did, I thought was very impressive. I'm not saying, I remember when we had Trey on, we were talking about he's not in the Jared Goff conversation yet of being a diet Tim Duncan, but he's starting to garner, I think, the trust of the organization to be able to do that with down number 2 receivers. I think they definitely have a quarterback they trust in.
Oh, for sure. You can definitely trust in Mr. Baker. And yeah, he looked good on Thursday Night Football, man. I wish that they didn't end up losing in overtime. I'll always root for my guy.
Another question about, do you go for the analytics? Analytics. It's analytics, guys.
It's only something that would run through my mind at the end of the game if I'm against the Chiefs. Against any other team, I like my chances.
Really? You didn't think at all, at least in the Cincinnati game, that it didn't make sense to go for 2 there?
I was pretty upset about it. I would have taken the points. I mean, I would have taken the extra point and then just
hope you win the toss.
OT. And hope you win the toss? Well, actually, yeah, if you're the Bengals, your defense is pretty dang bad.
They gave up 4 straight. I think the reason they went for it was because they gave up 4 straight touchdowns. I think in that situation, going for 2 is reasonable. I think in both situations you go for 2 because if your defenses had struggled that much, I could argue with the Tampa one that overtime is not the worst thing in the world, but the statistical probability is that you're more likely to get the 2-point conversion than you are to win the coin toss. That's the reason the analytics say. It's like believe it normally hovers around 57% chance that you get the 2. And then coin toss is just 50-50. So logically, it usually makes sense to go for 2 in that situation because you're more likely to get the 2 than you are to win the coin toss. That's that
makes sense, but I just don't think it's. I guess if I'm the Bengals, when your defense is that bad, yeah, going for 2 made sense there. But most times I will kick the extra point. If my defense isn't as bad as the Bengals and I'm not playing the Chiefs, I'll take that extra point and believe that my team can win in overtime. Like, if I'm the Giants in that scenario, I think I would kick the extra point.
Well, of course, because the Giants just don't. Would you?
Yeah, their defense.
Would you win?
Their defense
2 and 7.
is good.
Are they? I think they just get a lot of sacks. I don't know if they're good. I don't say they're good.
I would bet on my defense being able to get a 3 and out and having them punt, and then we can just get a field goal. All you need to do is have Daniel Jones get you in field goal range. That's a statement that makes your heart pump. But
all you need, that's it.
All you need is Daniel Jones to get you in field goal range. Which, yeah, that is a scary statement, but I would take it. I like Daniel Jones to get me in field goal range more than him not getting nervous on a game-winning 2-point conversion.
It's not getting nervous; it's getting clutch. I would just convert it if I were that team.
Yeah. If you were the quarterback, of course, yeah, you would be clutch. You would just have the clutch gene.
Personally, if I was the team, I would just convert the 2 points. But
I don't know how they don't think of that, bro.
How did they not get that the first time? Like, just get the 2 point.
Exactly.
Oh man! All right. Enough of sad Tampa. Let's get to sad Indianapolis.
Yeah, Indy against Buffalo. Buffalo just win, baby, win. They've won how many games in a row? Like what? 4, 5?
Well, I think it's 4. I think they've won 4 in a row because they were 3-2. Yeah, 4 in a row. 4 is right.
Yep, and you have Indy, who is starting Joe Flacco over the guy Anthony I'm Tired Richardson. And yeah,
The I'm
I mean,
tired thing is crazy.
with this game, I mean, I think Indy is worse than their record implies. They last week with the Joe Flacco start put up less points than they had all season when their backup that they wanted to be the starter, their golden boy young quarterback, as we mentioned, was tired. It just doesn't bode well for Indy right now, and Buffalo is just keeping the train rolling, man. Ever since they picked up Amari Cooper, things have looked all sunny in Buffalo.
Things have looked well. Played a close game against Miami. I mean, that was probably just due to, I think, both teams playing in division. But Indy is just weird. It is a weird team to be 4-5. Definitely feel more like a 2-6 team. Having Joe Flacco start, I think, makes sense just because I think he is right now better. But it's almost like the reason they made him start was say, hey, we're not good. We have bad quarterback play. When in reality, I think they have more issues than most people would be willing to admit. And they're just like, yeah, Joe, just be the guy you were in like 2012. You remember when you were on that Ravens team, you won a Super Bowl, and you got called elite. Can you do that like again, but this time you're 39? Like that's the Colts' plan.
Mm-hmm. And he already did that a year ago. It's hard to do that 2 times in a row as a 38 and 39-year-old.
Exactly. It's just, I don't know what exactly I don't know. It's really weird just looking at the Indianapolis Colts and trying to identify what they are. Because, I mean, they really, I'll be honest, they haven't looked like a really exceptional team probably since Andrew Luck retired, which is just kind of upsetting, but that's, I think, the reality there. I don't buy into at most of the Colts right now. But again, what's interesting is there are a few people that are saying, Buffalo's gonna trip up. This is like a trap game for them. I don't see it. It should still be. I think it will be surprisingly close, just because I think Indy does have stuff to play for. They're at home. It's not gonna be just like a Buffalo blowout. At least I don't think. Looking at Josh Allen though. I mean, I know Lamar's playing really well, but if Josh Allen continues to not turn it over, putting up like big boy numbers down the stretch, there's a chance he could potentially be the MVP this year, not Lamar. Especially because I think so, because I know Lamar played exceptional against Cincinnati, and I think he's the clear front runner. But if you have a Buffalo team let's say Buffalo, let's hear me out on this. Let's say Buffalo has the better seeding, and Josh Allen does have a good second half of the year. You could argue that, the Bills have the higher seed. Josh Allen won more of the games, right? The only edge that Lamar might have, it is a big one, admittedly, is that won the head-to-head matchup between the two. But when I look at what the Bills have versus what the Baltimore Ravens have, if you want to speak to me of most valuable, I would argue it's Allen. Better player right now, playing well this year, Lamar. But more value, Josh Allen.
I mean, you're probably right. I think somehow the NFL always gets their MVP pick wrong. Like last year, it should have been Christian McCaffrey, no question. And this year, it should be Lamar. But Lamar got it last year. And, the NFL, whoever's in charge of picking the MVP, whatever team that is, it seems like it's against their inner rules that they've set up for themselves to give somebody MVP 2 times in a row, even though Lamar Jackson actually deserves it this year. So, I don't know. We should do our own award show at the end of the at the end of the season.
I'm down. We should definitely cook that up.
But yeah, we'll see how the MVP race goes. I think because it should come down to their performances. I know MVP, if you're going by the definition of most valuable, you could argue that I don't know, Jared Goff is the most valuable, or to his team. But he's not going to win that, So I don't know. It's an interesting conversation to have. But yeah, Indy keeps crapping all over the place. Buffalo's just on win time. And yeah, we'll see how that game goes at 1 o'clock. Next up, we got Bo Nix in Denver against the 8-0 Kansas City Chiefs. Last week, you know, I just want to say, last week the Chiefs only beat the 4-4 and now 4-5 Buccaneers without Evans and Godwin by 6. They needed overtime. They also only beat the Raiders by 7. This is a Devontae Adams-less Raiders team. This is ridiculous. They're just annoying. And this week they're playing Denver, who is coming off a bad, ugly loss to Baltimore. And I don't know. It's like, come on. We know what's gonna happen here. They're gonna keep it close. And then I have Kansas City by 4. It's the only game of the previews I'll say that for.
Dude yeah. That being said, there is something to be said about winning those games because there are a couple teams I know that would the Raiders.
That would lose
You
to
know
the
what I mean?
Raiders?
Yeah,
Like
there
who?
are teams that would lose. How about I don't know. Let me think.
Like the
If I
Bengals?
could think of any
He's
team.
gonna
No,
say
they
the
beat them
Jets.
last
He's
week.
gonna say the Jets.
Let me think of a team. Hold on. I mean, the New York Jets would potentially lose that game. I mean,
How did I know?
dude, I'm just saying,
But-
dude. I mean, you didn't beat the Broncos. That's just
Yeah,
that's
but we
just
were
true.
still figuring it out. It
Oh.
out, man. There was a little bit of a grace period.
All right, whatever. There were teams that figured it out week 1, dude.
Like I've said in the past. Like I've said in the past, man, it's kind of a similar situation to what the Knicks are going through right now. You know, they got to figure it out with Karl Anthony Towns and Mikal Bridges, except the Knicks have 82 games, whereas the Jets have 17. So yeah, I mean, we got to win against a Texans team a week ago, so I see no reason why we won't be snapping off today against the Cardinals.
See 5 reasons, and we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about the Kansas City Chiefs right now. You don't have to give them credit. I mean, being 8-0 is not. I understand people could say, "Oh, the officials and all." You have to give them credit for being in games, winning those games. They're 8-0. That's the reality, and they have a chance to be 9-0 this weekend against a Denver team that I think is better offensively than I think overall than they've been in years. When you look at the Chiefs and, you know, I think they're just getting started. Mahomes finally actually played a fairly decent game. I think it was a lot of short intermediate passes, but actually took care of the ball, didn't turn it over. Travis Kelce had a huge outing, I believe. I think he had like 14 catches. It was all like underneath stuff, but you're looking at a lot of targets looking at Kelce. They added DeAndre Hopkins, so now they actually have a wide receiver to make up for the fact that Rashee Rice is down. And that's another thing, too. With Rashee Rice being down, out for the year, Pacheco's been out since week 2. You talk about losing a lot of their top players, and it's just next man up for Kansas City. You got to give them credit at the very least for being that 8-0 team. They feel very much like New England. And when New England had that, whoever it was, whether it was Danny Amendola or Chris Hogan or whoever would step up and be a wide receiver to fill in a gap, to fill in a void. Kansas City's has built something that is similar that can exist in that vein. I think if they get to 9-0, it sounds kind of crazy to say at this point in the year, but I would imagine that the division's pretty much done. I don't think the Chargers or the Broncos have any shot of catching up if KC wins this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the final thing I would say is that when you look at Denver offense,
Denver,
I know I
you
said it was
said?
Denver. They do have a good offense. I think the one problem for them, especially going into this game against the Chiefs, against better defenses, and Kansas City Chiefs have had a pretty solid defense all year long, they've struggled to put up points. I mean, when they were at Pittsburgh, they only dropped 6. The Jets, they only dropped 10. And the Chargers, they only dropped 16. So against a good defense, granted, those performances are better each and every time they go out and play a tough team, but they do need to improve offensively against those teams with tougher defenses. But that, I think, is ultimately the result of having a rookie quarterback, is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, Bo Nix is an older rookie, and I think he's played like an older rookie. He doesn't really make those mistakes Kind of, as you know, Bo Nix kind of annoys me because he's looked better on the Broncos than he did on any of the 5 college teams he played on, and yeah, but
He's legit, dude. He's
I mean,
legit.
he looks solid. He's a little game manager, and I don't say that in a negative light. I feel like that's sort of turned into an insult for some quarterbacks. But yeah, he's running that offense well. He had a little swaggerific receiving touchdown last week. A little bit of trickeration. But the Broncos are actually fun now, which is cool.
Also, I have to stat
Yeah.
check you on this. You're always like, he played on 5 different college teams. He
What,
played for
4?
Auburn and Oregon.
No, he
Let's
played for Auburn and Oregon. He played for another team.
He played for Auburn and he played for Oregon.
Oh,
relax.
okay. I remember he came in and played for Auburn, and he was bad, and I was like, dang, this guy sucks. And Mississippi State beat him, and then he went to Oregon, and they sucked there. And he was like the start. He was playing during like the start of like when you transferred, you didn't have to wait. You didn't have to take like a gap year to join the program. You could just transfer in and immediately start playing. So it felt like he was transferring more than he actually was. But yeah. That division, I think this division is cooked. I think with or without a win today. It's like the Chiefs.
Really?
The Chiefs are just gonna chief it up, man. The Chiefs are gonna be chiefing.
It's just over. Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, I agree. It does feel over at this point. Hey, he was pretty good in his final year in Oregon. Give him some credit. That's why he went the 12th overall pick. So, you know, he was good in his final year in Oregon.
I didn't know he was the 12th overall pick. Dang.
Yeah, he was 12th overall pick. He had 45 TDs and 3 picks in his final year. in
Okay,
Oregon.
that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Watch what you say about Bo Nix, dude. Bo Nix is
He
coming.
irks me. He irks me.
Oh, lose to them one time. Lose to Bo Nix one time. And the sky's falling.
I know I hated the Broncos for a while, but you know today go Bo Nix. Anybody that's playing that.
Anybody that plays
goofball-
anybody but the Chiefs. Anybody but the Chiefs.
Anybody
but the Chiefs.
but the Chiefs. All right. Next up, we got Atlanta 6-3 against the New Orleans Saints, who have dropped 7 straight. They've just fired Dennis Allen, and the interim head coach is Darren Rizzi.
Who?
Darren Rizzi. Now, I think potentially there's a little bit of Squidward and the gated community syndrome at play here. I think potentially, I still took the Falcons on the spread because, you know, one team is great here. Oh, is that Larry Bones in the crowd?
Bot. That's
Oh,
the bot, dude.
left. Dang it.
That's the bot. Oh shoot! Now my camera's screwed up because the bot left.
Let me add the bot in and just server mute it real quick. Bing.
Dude did not want to change my camera. That's crazy.
Well, because then I'd have to recrop it and all this other stuff.
Oh my gosh! And it's still not correctly grabbed. What do you mean? All right, there we
Oh,
go.
now it is. Now it is.
Let's
All
go.
right, back at it. Basically, the
What, the
the-
Saints
the-
gonna get Squidward
yeah,
syndrome?
the Squidward and the gated community syndrome, man. So it's like my camera's not focusing. Basically, whatever. It'll get its focus back. Squidward and the gated community syndrome. Whenever a team makes a change, they tend to win that next game. You know, when a team is struggling and they make this much desired change, it may not spell triumph for the rest of the season. But during that next game, they go out and win. Prime example, Jameis Winston when he came back after the Deshaun Watson injury. Don't sleep on the Saints today. They might have a newfound fire in them after getting rid of... Oh, he's so snuggled up. Look at this guy. Yeah, come on. Don't sleep on the Chiefs today, man. Or not the Chiefs, Jesus Christ. Do sleep on the Chiefs. Screw the Chiefs. Don't sleep on the Saints today. I mean, Darren Rizzi's the head coach. Sheesh! But also...
Aaron Rizzi.
Yeah, the Saints' playoff hopes have been dashed unless they literally win out, and they aren't going to do that.
They were 2-0, and they've lost. They just lost to Carolina. Absolutely not.
They just lost to Carolina, yeah.
They lost to Carolina, and Chris Olave just got put on IR.
Chris Olave is on IR.
Get
no!
this sorry excuse for a football team out of my face. They are insanely. How can you be a football team so insanely over the cap and yet you suck? I would assume if you're insanely over the cap, you would have some good players that you're paying. No, you're just paying Taysom Hill.
They're another one of those teams that's bad and crazy over the cap.
Taysom, we're gonna drive up the stock price of quarterback stock, and it's just you've just completely it completely backfires. You're 2-7. You're arguably worse than the Panthers. You are worse than the Panthers. You lost to Carolina with Derek Carr back as the starter. Like,
Yeah, that
there
is atrocious.
That's inexcusable. This is a sorry excuse for your football team. On the bright side, Atlanta looks great. They're going to look to increase their lead in the NFC South.
Love that.
But
I love seeing Atlanta succeed, man.
I do like it when Atlanta is good. I loved it when Matt Ryan would be good for the Falcons. It feels a little weird still seeing Kirk on the Falcons, but I'm starting to get used to it. I just miss the Matt Ryan days. Too bad he couldn't have, held on to that lead. Super
Indeed.
Bowl.
Very tragic.
It's got to be, but good for Atlanta. I think this is I don't mean to spoil game picks, but this one looks quite over.
Yeah, I mean, one team has a great offense and the other team has nothing going for it.
Yeah, this is
And that's
get this sorry excuse for a football team off of my screen, dude. I don't even want to look at it.
Let's get rid of
I
it.
don't
And
wanna
also,
look.
that's not to slight Jesse Bates and that Atlanta defense.
No, they're fantastic. I just don't want to look at that. I don't need to look at them Saints. I can't look at Saints. I love you, Alvin Kamara, but you're the only good player on that team, right?
And they just got rid of Marshawn Lattimore too. So that's
Yeah, exactly.
they're cooked. They're cooked. Next up, we have Drake May and the New England Patriots against Chicago. Both of these teams coming off of losses. The Patriots are coming off a loss to the Titans. Chicago, they just lost to... Who did they lose to last week?
They lost to Arizona by 20.
Oh, yeah, 29-9. That game was a real freaking disappointment.
That was upsetting.
Chicago finds themselves on the fringe of the playoff picture right now, despite their 2-game slide. They were 4-2. They had an opportunity to improve to 5-2 for the first time since the Jay Cutler era. And now here they are finding themselves at 4-4. Caleb Williams threw for something like 10 for 21 a week ago.
It was something in that vein. Well, who were we talking about exactly?
Caleb Williams.
I just missed it. Oh, Caleb Williams. Yeah, Caleb. I was going to say Drake May. Drake May had an incredible throw against the Titans. That was awesome.
That was a freaking awesome
it was,
end to the game.
I think it was the week before.
That was
it was like 10
before,
of 24 against Washington, and then 22 of 41 against Arizona. Just so much.
22 of 41,
6
not
times.
10 of 21. Jeez, yeah.
Sacks 9 times in the last 2 weeks. I mean, that's just bad. The QBR last 2 weeks is atrocious for Caleb Williams. I mean, listen, I think he can be the franchise quarterback, but I think Chicago is drastically failing him. I think the coaching staff is drastically failing him. I don't think Drake May is getting much better coaching staff, but I think it's going to be dude, the Bears, their defense is the only bright spot, and that being said, the Bears defense just gave up back-to-back 160-plus yard rushing days to, who was it? They played the Commanders, they give 168 rushing yards. They played the Cardinals, they give up 213. Next thing I know, Ramondre Stevenson's going to have a 3-yard rushing. That's just what it says.
Ramondre Stevenson sucks. I'm sorry.
Well,
this guy got 16 rushing yards on 10 attempts a week ago. Drake May outran this guy. And I know running as a quarterback can be a little bit different. If you see that the pocket is collapsed and all the coverage is downfield, you can get, like a free anywhere from 10 to 20. But Ramondre Stevenson, like people will talk about Ramondre Stevenson he's this ascending running back. Nah, bro. He's a slightly bigger fish in a tiny little pond. And I'm sorry, Ramondre Stevenson. He's just like, it's kind of like a similar narrative to like Derek Carr a while back. Because like, I remember like 3 years in a row, people were like, watch out for Derek Carr this year. He's an MVP
Dude, for
dark
real.
horse. And then he would be Derek Carr. And it kind of just reminds me of the same thing. Sorry, I just kind of crashed out on Ramondre Stevenson for no reason.
He's legit, dude.
No,
He's legit. That's crazy. He's an NFL caliber running dude. He's the one who caught the pass from Drake May to take it to overtime. That dude's a
Oh my god.
That dude's awesome. No, this is the good news for the Patriots. At least having Drake May out there is better than watching Jacoby Brissett. I don't know how much more Jacoby Brissett it could take, because this is the thing. When you live in the Northeast, all you see are like, you know what? It sucks because you see at least the Bills. They're excited. They're like a good team, but then you get to watch like the Giants suck, the Jets suck, the Patriots suck. Like, watching all of these garbage teams just being bad, it sucks living in the Northeast for football sometimes. It just really does. You get to see just trash.
That is tough. But that's why you end up stream easting.
What? I've never heard of that.
Oh yeah, crap. I can't. No, that's why you buy Sunday ticket.
Docs, dude. Yeah, you buy Sunday ticket. Gosh.
That's
What's the matter with you?
That's it's just a thing I made up. The thing I mentioned earlier,
real.
it's not real. It's not real.
Yeah, not real. Okay. Yeah, I don't know, because that was weird. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes I just make things up on the fly and it doesn't really land.
Anyway, yeah, this is gonna be the battle of two teams that are just failing their young quarterbacks. That's my take on this game.
I don't think the Patriots have been failing Drake May super badly yet. I mean, there hasn't been enough time to say that. Caleb Williams needs a better offensive line.
I think there's plenty of time. They just don't have enough talent there. They don't have enough talent. We'll see how the coaching staff goes, but I don't know. I definitely think the Bears are 100% failing Caleb Williams. If the book is out, if the Patriots are failing Drake May or not. But
yeah, I mean, Caleb Williams just needs better protection.
I'm leaning towards they are. I'm leaning towards that they are or that they will.
Yeah, Caleb Williams
That's how
just
I
needs better protection. The Patriots suck. Their defense is terrible. They might have the worst defense in the league. Excuse me.
I mean, they were enough. The Patriots defense was enough against the Jets. So I mean.
Yeah, but the Jets sucked that week. Like they didn't figure it out yet, man. Yeah. All right, yeah, we need to.
Tell me the weeks they didn't suck.
How about last week? How about the first time we played the Patriots?
Oh yeah.
So
that's 3 times. But 6 out of the 9 times. We
still kind of sucked when we beat the Titans. It was not a good game for us.
Sucked.
But all right, let's get this game out of our faces. Basically what this game means for playoff picture. New England's just playing for pride. I don't think they would mind losing this one. And Chicago is a fringe playoff spot. So if they want to stay in that playoff hunt, they gotta win today. All right, next up we have the game of the week. 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 We have Pittsburgh.
Yes, it
finding
is.
themselves at 6-2. The Russell Wilson, Mr. Unlimited led Pittsburgh Steelers with a staunch defense of T.J. Watt, Alex Highsmith, Joey Porter Jr. They've looked great this year.
Nick Herbig, Cam Hayward, Minka Fitzpatrick, Patrick Queen.
Overrated.
Dante Jackson.
Overrated.
Isaiah Loudermilk.
How loud do you want it, Pittsburgh?
Louder than milk.
And then on the offensive end, Najee has had a freaking surge lately, looking great. Yeah. He's had a touchdown in each of his last couple games, I'm pretty sure.
Pretty sure.
Actually, I don't know if I can't confirm whether or not he got a touchdown last week, but I know he rushed for over 100 yards.
Yeah. I mean, he did, dude. He had 114 yards against the Giants. He had 102 yards against the Jets. He had 3 straight 100-yard rush days and no more than 21 carries in all those. This could be a big Najee day running the ball
against a
low
bad
average.
Commanders run defense.
Yeah, I mean, it could definitely be the case. It's contract year. They didn't pick up his 5th-year option. He's like, okay, I see ya. He's cooking, and he's cooking. He's eating. He's eating. He's like the new Ezekiel Elliott.
He is.
But the good Zeke, not the Zeke right now, not the Zeke that gets suspended from games. I am excited for this game. Listen, I think this is the biggest test, one of the biggest tests for both of these teams. I think this is probably the biggest test that both of these teams have faced. Both these teams also feel that they have a shot to make a run this year. You saw the Steelers making moves at the deadline for Preston Smith, for Mike Williams. We saw Washington make the move for Marshawn Lattimore. Unfortunately, he's not playing in this game. But, they've made a move saying we need to improve position. We think we could make a run if we add this player. I think it should be entertaining. We'll see how much Mike Williams is using the game plan. I think that's gonna definitely open up the Steelers down the field. But I mean, off a bye week. Steelers should come into this game prepared. They should be feisty. They should be maybe even a little annoyed that Washington is the home favorite, right? But I mean, Pittsburgh should come in with a chip on their saying you got to start taking us seriously. I think whoever wins this game is going to end up making a statement by the end of it. I think this is going to be awesome to see. I think the Steelers are a lot healthier too. We talk about Zach Frazier coming back, their rookie center. You talk about getting Nick Herbig back for depth at pass rusher. Now taking out guys hot like Highsmith and Watt off the field, it feels a lot better that you still have depth at that position to get pressure with guys like Preston Smith and Nick Herbig. I am very much excited. This is Pittsburgh's biggest test. If they can win this game, I think the narrative changes of how people look at them. It's like, oh, they've been good, but are they actually ready to make a run? But if they win this game, we're looking at a team that says, this team is legit. They're legit.
Yeah.
If they win
this is going to be a great game. Dude, yeah. The narrative on Pittsburgh will change this year from, oh, they're a dark horse contender to, okay, they're in this. They are very much
real, dude.
Fully submerged in the AFC Super Bowl hunt or conference championship hunt. If they win today, they find themselves at 7-2. Also, I would like to say, Khan for Pittsburgh.
The con artist,
dude, he's
Omar
a
Khan.
A seventh round pick for Preston Smith. That is robbery. Also, you're getting Mike Williams from my Jets for a 5th rounder. Come on. Aaron Rodgers deflated the value of that guy so much. Like, Mike Williams is better than 5th round talent. Like, come on. We picked Williams up in free agency. I was going to say, I feel like Mike Williams, when Aaron Rodgers isn't deflating his value, is a 3rd rounder. But that's besides the point. Aaron Rodgers is on his GM arc with
dude, he's balling.
It was over from that interception at the end of the Bills game when he outed Mike Williams for saying he ran the wrong route. I don't care, you're Aaron Rodgers, you're the quarterback, you should be leading your team. But yeah, man, Pittsburgh, they have been on an upward trend. It's really felt like linear growth so far this season. But then on the flip side, you have Washington. Oh, a fun fact. Both of these teams' last win came against the Giants. And
it's true.
Yeah. Jaden Daniels and the Commanders have looked fantastic. We all remember that Hail Mary against the Bears now 3 weeks ago. Geez, time flies.
Time is flying.
And yeah, I mean, we know all about this Commanders team, man. Fiery, potent, fun offense. Still no Brian Robinson today, but Chris Rodriguez Jr. still looked good in his place. And I think the name of the game coming into this one for me is like, I mean, the main questions are, how can Jaden Daniels handle himself against this Steelers pass rush and now kind of formidable pass defense with Joey Porter Jr. And can Washington's defense hold Najee, who is on a tear lately? because their run defense is not that good. You said they were ranked like what, 27th in the league?
Yeah, bottom third of the league, and it's I anticipate that's Pittsburgh's game plan. They're gonna ground and pound with Najee Harris, run a little bit of play action, take some deep shots to George Pickens.
Oh.
I think this is going to be a exciting game. I wouldn't doubt if this is the best game we see. I mean, normally when we say that, it just ends up not being the case, but this time, it's gonna be the case. It's gonna be a great game.
Indeed. The matchup is definitely the most intriguing so far. The one that screams out to me as the one that I'm just excited to tune into and watch. And also, I love what you said about Najee as a Najee Harris fantasy owner.
Yeah.
Ground and pound with Najee, baby.
Yeah, we get it. We get it.
I love my fantasy players. I feel a familial connection to them.
Get a load of this guy. Get a load of this guy.
I love it. All right, next up, we got
Vikings,
Minnesota
Jags.
versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Minnesota still, to me, has not totally beat the fraudulent allegations after only beating the Colts 21-13 a week ago, and previously before that, dropping 2 straight. And the Jags, I think, are better than their record indicates, because, I mean, they only lost to the Eagles and they lost to the Eagles by 5. They lost 28-23 against the Eagles in Philly a week ago. And then the week before that, they only lost to the Packers by 3. This team consistently loses close games to good teams. So I guess that poses the question, do we consider Minnesota to be a good enough team? I mean, you have Sam Darnold last week who balled out. What did he throw, like 28 for 34? And
I think he did have a nice outing. He had a couple turnovers. That was the main.
He did have 1 or 2 interceptions, I remember.
Yeah, he had a couple picks there. But, I mean, 28-34, 290. I mean, he's been accurate. He's been outside of, like, one game against the Jets where I think he had, like, got hit in the head. You're looking at 22-27 versus the Lions. He was 18-25 versus the Rams, 28-34 versus Indy. You know, the completion percentage is certainly up there. He has looked accurate. And I think when you have a receiver like Justin Jefferson, it definitely makes the lead. He has been, to his credit, playing like one of the better quarterbacks in the league. Is he top 5, top 10? You know, maybe, but I think maybe not. But I think you're looking at like at least top 12 status, which is impressive considering we would have never put Sam Darnold in that conversation a year ago. Not even close.
Oh, yeah, not at all.
But in a game here against Jacksonville, I think he'll continue to do some of the same things, get that protection. I know they lost Christian Darrisaw. They traded for Cam Robinson, who was formerly a Jacksonville Jaguar. So we've immediately got a revenge game for Cam Robinson in his second game as a Viking. But I mean, this is what they needed. They needed to make sure they got protection. They got protection. Or is it second or first? I think it is. His first game was against Indy. Second game this year against Jacksonville. I mean, the one thing that I think that makes me think the Vikings are gonna have a good outing today is that they're playing Mac the Sack Jones. Trevor Lawrence currently out battling an AC joint sprain. It'll be Mac Jones as QB1 for the day in Jacksonville. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah,
it's
not
gonna
a
be
lot
Mac
of faith
Jones.
in Mac Jones.
I mean, you never know, dude. This what do they call it? Squidward in the gated community syndrome. Maybe Trevor Lawrence has been the problem the whole time. Maybe Mac Jones balls out. I don't think that's the case at all.
It requires poor performance for the guy that's exiting. And Trevor Lawrence has been doing well despite some low completion percentages. Yeah, I mean, Mac Jones, I don't have a lot of reason to believe in Mac Jones today against a Minnesota defense that has made the likes of C.J. Stroud look bad. So
You're not a believer, huh?
I'm not a Mac Jones believer, man. He was kicked out of New England for doing as bad as he did, and he couldn't win the starting job in Jacksonville, which I guess, Trevor Lawrence kind of had the right to that. But, yeah, I mean, we'll see how Mac Jones does, but I don't have high hopes for Mac Jones.
You never know, dude. Mac Jones could come out swinging. You just don't know until you know.
You don't know until you know. We'll see. We will see.
Oh my gosh.
And what seed is Minnesota in the playoff picture right now?
Right now, Minnesota is sitting at a comfortable 5 seed.
Oh,
So
okay.
they would.
So
They're second in the NFC North. They were, and they played Detroit close. I think people are saying that they're fraudulent. They played Detroit down to the wire. They played the Rams game was still close as well. So I don't know. I don't understand the full fraudulent allegations on the two teams that they've lost to are good teams.
yeah, that's true. That's true. I think a little hiccup in the season does not spell total demise for the Vikings. They just got to get back to doing what they do. I mean, Sam Darnold still looks great. Justin Jefferson is still that guy. 7 receptions for 137 yards a week ago. Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of a similar situation as the Bills for Minnesota. The losses just came at a different time. Just win, baby, win. Nothing's changed fundamentally.
That's true. I agree with you on that one.
Alrighty. Next up, we got Tennessee, Mason Rudolph, and the Tennessee Titans. Wait, Will Levis is making his return today.
Yeah, he is. He's returning for the first time since week 4.
Sheesh.
Will Levis memes are officially back, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I mean he's been rehabbing. Levis maybe has been able to watch the offense, potentially learn from my boy Mason Rudolph. Hopefully he's able to, shake off some rust, maybe not make mistakes, although I do think in his first game back, he's going to make mistakes. This is a good Charger team. It is a Charger team that does not turn the ball over and forces turnover. They have the lowest turnover rate. They at only 3.3% of their plays are turnovers. And when you look at their defense is number 1 in interception rate at 1.1. They're gonna have a good time today. I think the Chargers are gonna be glad that Will Levis is in the lineup. That interception rate might even increase, as crazy as it is to believe. It's Will Levis, man. I can't. Look at that face. You look at that face right now and tell me you have confidence in that right there. Look at him. He's shaking in his boots. Listen, Tennessee's bad, and they should feel bad that they are just not a good football team. What Jim Harbaugh is doing in LA for the Chargers is impressive. They feel different. They feel like a team they feel different than when Brandon Staley was head coach, and that's important.
They feel competent.
Yeah, you want to get as far away from feeling like you're being coached by Brandon Staley as possible.
Exactly.
You gotta get away from that.
They've done a good job with that.
What if we took Brandon Staley and pushed him somewhere else?
And so the Chargers.
That's exactly what they need.
Yeah, exactly. And the Chargers find themselves at what, the 6th seed?
They're just looking at the 6th seed, yeah. So they're also feeling pretty good in the postseason, especially for an AFC that is weaker than I think a lot of people were expecting coming into the year.
Indeed. So the Chargers do need a win today, very much so, to just protect themselves in that playoff.
Yeah,
picture.
and they feel pretty good playing against Will.
Yeah. Did Rudolph go down with an injury, or are they just switching it up again?
Oh, they're going back to Levis. Levis is healthy. Levis is the starter, man. Levis is the guy for Tennessee.
It's so funny that they're kind of just altering their quarterback every 4 weeks. Well, actually, it's week 10 now, but they're just switching it up.
We'll see Mason Rudolph back soon. Dude, I think it's, it's funny too. I look at Will Levis and he looks like a guy who would play quarterback for Tennessee. Like he does, he does, but he just looks like a Tennessee Titans quarterback.
He does.
I don't know. This is the only way I can
some real
describe
Ryan
that.
Tannehill vibes on him, and not from the way he plays.
Exactly, yeah. But the Chargers are going to be happy that Levis is returning to.
Indeed. All right, next up, we got Philly
Speaking
against
of
Dallas.
Speaking of quarterback changes,
Indeed. Dak.
Cooper Rush. Now that's a guy who plays for the Dallas Cowboys.
That is a guy that looks like he plays for the Dallas Cowboys. Dak has officially.
That is a Texan through and through.
Indeed.
Well, not a Texan, a Cowboy.
Yeah, a Cowboy. Dak has undergone season-ending hamstring surgery. Cooper Rush will be filling in for him. Yeah.
I thought he said he didn't want to get it.
Or will be undergoing. I saw a headline yesterday that said he will be undergoing the season-ending surgery. I could be wrong though. Maybe it was hogwash.
I know he's gonna miss the 2024 season, but for some reason he said he didn't want to undergo surgery. Like he's gonna have to, but he's like, I don't wanna be healthy, dude. I already made my money. I don't want to play anymore. Get me out.
Yeah, and Dallas. I mean, they have not really looked strong in any particular area all season. Like their only bright spot has been CeeDee Lamb. On the flip side, you have the Eagles, who seem to finally have figured it out. You had Saquon Barkley making video game moves last week. Jalen Hurts throwing 18 for 24 from the field in a 28-23 win over the Jags. They've now won 4 straight. And, yeah. Oh, and Micah Parsons is back for the Cowboys.
Micah Parsons is making his return, but right when he gets back healthy, Dak exits the lineup, so Cooper Rush is the starter. Good news for Dallas is that Cooper Rush is fired for the Cowboys.
Is what for the Cowboys?
The bad news is that he's 5-1 when he starts for Dallas. That's the good news. The bad news is Philadelphia leads the league in 40-plus yard plays. This is a big play offense with guys like Saquon, with guys like AJ, with guys like Devontae Smith. They are a big play offense. 12 plays of 40-plus yards. They've had 40-plus yard plays in 7 of their 8 games, so you know they're going to get big up play opportunities. Barkley has been incredible. He's first in the NFC, in the entire NFC in scrimmage yards. He's second in the NFL. He's got 1,071 scrimmage yards, 925 rushing yards. He's got 8 total touchdowns. 6 of those are being rushing touchdowns. He is just the 3rd Philadelphia Eagle since the 1970 NFL merger to produce 1,000 scrimmage yards in his first 8 games. The only other 2 are Philly legends LaShawn McCoy and Brian Westbrook.
Wow.
He is already, I mean, we knew he was elite. Listen, Squidward in the gated community, getting out of New York, guess what? It does wonders to a man. It does wonders to not play for the New York Giants. I mean, look, Dallas has been banged up. If they want to have any shot, I think they'd, I don't know if they have any shot, considering that without Dak, this team just fundamentally is worse at quarterback. I know people like Cooper Rush, but I don't think he's better by any sense of the imagination. Dallas is going to need to improve on defense. If they want to have any shot, they got to look. Micah Parsons has to come in and provide some amount of pass rush. I know they have, I think it's number 11 or 13, Demarvian Overshown. He's actually been a very solid player for them. I know he missed a lot of last year, but he's been very good this year. But they're just not healthy. They look bad on almost every aspect of the defensive side of the ball. This Philadelphia looks good. I mean, I can question whether I like Sirianni as coach all you want, but when you're winning, there's nothing more to say. They're winning and they're doing a good job.
Indeed. Yeah, Philly has figured it out at this point. And, yeah, but this is a classic little rivalry here, divisional matchup, so let's...
It is. Anything can happen in divisional games.
Indeed.
We saw that a couple weeks ago when the Browns played the Ravens. Anything can happen in divisional game, but I think the game that everyone has their eyes on in the NFC, in terms of NFC East games, is the one next week when the Commanders will play the Eagles. That'll be a big NFC East matchup, so stay tuned for that one next week where we'll be talking about...
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I believe it's tonight.
Cooper Rush is... Wait, is that... No, I don't think so.
You don't think that next week's Thursday night football matchup?
I don't know, actually. It
is. Suck it. Suck it.
No. Also, yeah, don't sleep on Cooper Rush. 5-1 for the Cowboys. When starting. Next up. We got my New York Jets, my beloved, ever consistent New York Jets, coming off a historic win against CJ Stroud, where they made him go something like 10 for 21. What? No, he threw 19. There's no way he threw only 11 incompletions. Huh. He threw 19 incompletions. Yeah, courtesy of the Jets defense, Garrett Wilson had a little Air Jordan catch. You know how long I waited for this? I'm finna make a name for myself.
It only took till week 9, but they finally looked like the team that everyone said they were gonna be.
Yeah.
It only took them to fall to 2-6. They'll have a much more challenging time on the this week against the Cardinals. Look, they beat the Texans, but the Texans were down their top 2 receivers, man. He had Tank Dell and no one else. Like, come on.
Tank Dell. Well,
And plus,
dude, that's
and
not
plus
true.
you didn't even play Tank Dell and what? Dalton Schultz?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dalton
and
Schultz,
his other
guys.
2 wide receivers. Next man up, bro.
Next man up mentality. Okay. I'm just saying, you talk about being down his top 2 receivers. He definitely should have played better than 11 of 30, so I'll give you credit for making him play that poorly. But this is, this is, again, though, the Jets have very little margin for error throughout the rest of the season. And this Arizona team's proven that they're no joke. They've looked pretty solid, all things considered. To be 5-4, they've won 3 in a row. James Conner's given them an identity. Their defense got 6 sacks last week. I mean, it was the Bears' offensive line. But that being said, 6 sacks is 6 sacks. 6 sacks against anybody is not easy to do. You're going to have to be looking at Kyler Murray, seeing how he's going to be able to move the ball. How to contain him is going to play a huge factor. They have, in all fairness, the Jets have a very reasonable schedule, but it's up to the Jets to play like a team that belongs in the playoffs, not a team that definitely looks like they shouldn't be, because it doesn't, for the most part, it doesn't look like they shouldn't be. I mean, even with their win against Houston,
right now.
even against their win against Houston, they played a great second half. There will be moments where you have to play a good first half of football also, and this is one of those games.
Yeah.
So
I got all the faith in the world.
I'm sure you do. And I'm sure I know who I am. Let's just say I know who I am picking section. I know exactly who I am.
Starts with an N and ends with an New York Jets.
You know what? Can you drop the York Jets and the N and just say ew? Because ew. Ew.
No, I can't. I'm afraid I can't, Philip. I'm sorry.
I just did. Ew.
Look, dude.
Ew.
Look, dude. James Conner has been a problem. He's been a problem this year.
Disgusting. Despicable.
James Conner has been a problem this year. Thankfully, the Jets have a good run defense. Sauce Gardner needs to put the holding penalties to a minimum. We're going to need him to mute Marvin Harrison Jr., who thankfully has not been as big of a factor as he has been in the first couple weeks of the season. And yeah, I think this is going to be a good game of football. You know, if you've been watching, if you've been following along, you know that the Cardinals are a team that I have a soft spot for. Not this week. It all changes this week.
Wow, not a soft spot for it. They're going to get you for saying that. They're going to get you. You watch out.
Yeah,
watch out.
Yeah. I ain't scared. We're going to shake up the playoff picture with this one. But yeah, 2 teams fighting for a playoff spot, man. I mean, the Cardinals are... What seed are the Cardinals?
They are the 4 seed. They're currently leading the West.
Oh, man.
They have a lot of incentives to stay ahead of San Francisco, so they should come out guns ablaze.
I just got a feeling they're scared. They're scared of us.
Nobody's scared of
Yeah, you can watch that game at 4:25. It's going to be crazy.
I can't wait.
Next up, Sunday Night Football. We got the Detroit Lions 7-1. Just win, baby, win. They're coming off a win 24-14 against the Packers in Green Bay on a rainy one. Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery combined for something like 138 yards, and I know Jahmyr got the touchdown. David Montgomery was no longer able to vulture the touchdowns away. Amon-Ra kind of cooked. And yeah, then the 2 weeks before that, they had 2 50-point games. Two 50-point games where they blew the competition out. So even for a team as good as Houston that's coming off a loss to the Jets, this is a tall order, man. Nico Collins has been activated off of injury reserve. And and thankfully it's in Houston and not Detroit. Detroit's probably, you can't really argue, I think, they're the hottest team in the league right now. That you can't argue that they're not the hottest team in the league right now. And yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty clear. They dominate everybody. I feel like they're so their knee biting mentality, like it invites challenge. Like they want to see the best teams. They want to cook these teams. They went to Green Bay. What did he had? Amon Ra had a shirt that was like fuck Green Bay or something like that. Pardon my French, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Like that mentality of we wanna cook. We wanna go in. We wanna cook these guys.
Yeah, they have these games circled on their calendar, and not out of fear. They do not shy away from a battle.
It was Green Bay. It was Green Bay sucks. So I didn't even need to drop the expletive. But dude, it may as well have been. It may as well have been that idea that
we lost.
They just dominate teams. They have gone in. And even in the game against Green Bay, the score might not show it. They had complete control of that game through and through. And then Houston, I mean, they drop one against New York. They're no Stephon Diggs. You do get Nico Collins back, but the one big problem for Houston is they have not been able to, when they're able to get the ball between the 20s, but getting into the red zone has been a problem for them. Their red zone percentage, they are bad. Their second half points, in the second half, they've struggled. They're averaging, I believe it is 5 points in the second half. 5 points in the second half. That is 31st in the National Football League. You got to be better in the second half, especially against a team like Detroit, who can, if you let them stack it up, they could very quickly pull away with this game, especially for a Houston team that I think is just going to get Nico Collins back. I don't know if he's going to be able, what's he going to look like? Is he going to be fully healthy? Is he going to be ready to go? Or are we going to see him kind of get slow started out the gate? We'll have to see, but I think this is for Detroit. I think they invite this challenge for Houston. I'm not saying it's a must-win because it's a tough game against Detroit, but I think if they drop another one, they'd love to win this game to make a statement to say, we're back, we're good, don't worry about it. But at the same time, don't you kind of got to worry about it a little bit? If you start to fall to 6-4, you look at the competition in the AFC. I mean, remember, they beat Buffalo earlier in the year. I'm not so certain they win that game today. I'm not so certain they can beat Baltimore. I'm not so certain they can beat a Kansas City or Pittsburgh. They got to, at the very least, they don't have to win this game, but they have to look better than they did last week.
Indeed. They've had a long rest to prepare for this one. So yeah, we'll see how Houston comes out of the gates. And with Nico Collins, I do think there will be a little buffer with him getting back to looking like the Nico Collins that we know, because I feel like players, when they're out for a little bit, it does take a game or so for them to really get back to game speed. But yeah, we shall see how Nico Collins and the Texans look against the just on fire, confident Detroit Lions. And that was Sunday Night Football. Now we have Monday Night Football.
Monday Night Football.
We have the Dolphins, led by Tua Tagovailoa, who went 25 for 28 last week on completions. And then the Rams, who, as we know, have Cooper and Puka back. That aerial attack has looked sweet. Kyron Williams looked great in their absence, but he had a little bit of a weak game last week, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And yeah, Miami.
As a Kyron Williams fans who are not great.
Yeah, Miami finds themselves in a similar predicament to the New York Jets. 2-6, they got to win out, basically. And, you know, on the bright side, they do have this excuse of we didn't have Tua. And the play calling, this isn't a valid excuse or really, because it's a controllable thing. But the play calling has been abysmal. Tyreek Hill hasn't scored a touchdown since week 1. Yeah, it's kind of do or die if you want to hold on to your hopes of being legit.
Nope.
If you're the Dolphins.
That's exactly what I was thinking. It's do or die for Miami. Monday Night Football against a good Rams team. I know they're 4-4, but they are fighting for the playoffs. They are better than what their record says. Devon Achane has been a huge part of this offense, and I think Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle need to start being a bigger part of this offense. I mean, you talk about only 2 TDs between them combined. Like, they need to get their playmakers involved. Those guys are so essential to what you did on offense all of last year. And again, this is the part of the season where last year Miami struggled to get going. They struggled in the second half of the year. Well, now you're struggling in the first half of the year. This is the part where you need to put some offense on. You got to be getting the ball to Tyreek Hill, to Jalen Waddle, to A-Chain, to your playmakers. Defensively, you may have a tough time against Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua and Kyron Williams and all these scorers, but that's the reality. That's life. Your defense is actually one of the worst in the league. I mean, it's fourth fewest in takeaways. They're second fewest in sacks. They're not very good at getting pressure. They're going to win this game. They have to rely on their offense. Their offense has to play better. They just have to put up points. They have to consistently be able to do this. They've looked better with Tua under center as their quarterback. They've got to pick up a win. If it's not tonight, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah, it does not look good at all. This is a must win for Miami. And one thing I can't get over whenever I look at Miami, man, they've totally abandoned what worked for them a year ago. And then you pair that with the losses of Bradley Chubb, the loss of Bradley Chubb, and Christian Wilkins isn't there anymore either, is he?
No, he's with the Raiders, but
Yeah.
I think he's hurt right now anyway. So
Yeah, you have to lean on Waddle and Hill. That was your main selling point and catalysts of your offense a year ago, and you've just totally abandoned that. Waddle didn't get his first touchdown of the year until a week ago.
Yep.
It's interesting. Miami's gonna need to work their boo-heinies off to be any sort of legit this season, man.
well, this is their chance. Monday Night Football against the Rams. If they can come out and play well, there's a chance there. But this is a good Rams team. They showed it last week against Seattle. They said even despite they couldn't run the ball. I mean, surprising against a Seattle team that had struggled against the run all year. The Seattle showed up, was able to stop Kyron Williams from having a big day, and the Rams were able to get the win in overtime. But this is this is no easy feat to go into SoFi and beat the Rams. I mean, listen, home field advantage. Most of the time when a team travels there, their fans kind of start to take over the stadium, but they've gotten used to that, and they are legitimate. They are legitimate. They have chances for a wild card spot. I would argue that if they get into the playoffs, there's a chance they could go on a run, the LA Rams. So this is again, Miami's got to win it. If Miami doesn't get it here, if Miami doesn't get the win here, you can't lose the rest of the year. Like, you maybe get it. You could probably get into the AFC playoffs at 10-7, but if you lose tonight, you walk the tightest of tightropes.
Indeed. Yeah, we'll see what happens. That's our Monday night game. And now we are getting into the game time picks. Those were all of the previews. If you're liking what we're doing, join the Discord. We're chatting it up. You can come talk to us on the show. Call in. Or you can come play video games with whoever. Network with people. It's a great time. And, of course, Instagram, YouTube, Gmail. It's all Primetime with Taff and Phil, essentially. It's Primetime with Taff and Phil at gmail.com. Primetime with Taff and Phil on Instagram. And then on YouTube, it's Primetime with Taff Smith and Philip White. All right.
Gotta flush names.
Now that we are looking at it, could we just have a super quick hiatus and call Harry real quick?
Yeah, should we call him?
Yeah, let's call Harry up.
It is currently 12:09.
He's gotten his rest. That sleepyhead has gotten his rest. He can come around for the game time. His
I can't come to the phone right now.
bro turn.
He just immediately.
Bro turn. Do not disturb on. Bro turn. Do not disturb on. Oh my god. Oh my god. Actually, no, it's not on. His phone's just off, dude. I'm calling Chris. Chris Clemens. There we go.
Here, while we're doing a hiatus, can I go get some water?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sweet! Water time!
Water time.
Your call has been forwarded to an
Yeah, I think no dice with Larry Bones or Chris Clemens. But yeah, the show must go on. The game time picks will be made momentarily once Philip White is back with his glass of water. How we feeling, people?
Right. Have returned.
Hey, he's back. Chris and Harry both did not answer, but the show must go on.
Show goes on.
Alrighty, so we have our game.
Guess
time
someone's
picks.
record. Guess someone's career record's still staying at 0-0.
Yep, bro is 0 for 2 on making it to the show.
That's crazy. It's like, oh, it's like, I literally, dude,
We might need a
this
missed
is so-
appearances record.
Yeah. We put it up. Like, if you don't make, dude, I called him and he texted me at 9:56. Yeah. And he's not here. How
my
can you say
gosh.
yeah? Be here, man. You gotta make me
Bro
well
fell
up with
asleep in the
tears.
shower. He fell asleep in the shower. He's just laying down with water running over him right now.
He's stuck in there. His fingers are getting all pruny.
Yeah. Ugh.
All right. Well, it is what it is. The show goes on. Welcome to the prime time picks of the day.
Indeed.
Starting us off. Let me get some water and then I'll I'll announce this.
Yes.
We got our locks. Let's get it cooked. As in cooked up. Starting with number 1, the lock of the week. I think this is the lock of the week. Atlanta -3.5 at New Orleans, sitting at -112. Listen, Saints fired their head coach. You think they're going to get Squidward in the gated community syndrome? I'm going to tell you right now, no, they're not. No Olave? Yikes. Big problem. Derek Carr, hospital pass quarterback.
Indeed.
We are going to be looking at Atlanta. Atlanta has been fantastic so far this year. They have impressed beyond belief. Kirk Cousins, he's going to do what he does. Atlanta's going to win this game by 4 more points. Let's be real.
That's a fact.
Number 2, another spread. The LA Chargers sitting right now at -7.5, not at New Orleans. What's going on there, dude?
Something
Fascinating.
weird.
That's weird. They're not at New Orleans. They're
Oh.
at home against the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, against the Tennessee Titans. Sheesh. Yeah, they're at home
Jeez.
against the Tennessee Titans.
What happened
Not
there?
New Orleans. Tunnel
What
vision.
happened
I was
there,
thinking
bro?
about the Saints. When I typed that in.
Oh my God.
How did that happen?
They're gonna even if it's moved to -8, the Chargers are gonna beat the Tennessee Titans. They're gonna look good. They're gonna look great. Listen,
Indeed.
they have dominated the last couple of weeks against bad teams. They dominated the Saints before. They dominated the Browns before. They're gonna dominate the Titans, and they're gonna move to 6-3, and they're gonna cover that spread. Listen, you just bet on good teams. That's how this goes. You bet on good teams. You don't bet on the spread even. You just bet on the good team. Then
Exactly.
finally, for our final pick, we're going with a player. We're going with one of my favorite players right now in the league. That is George Pickens. They play against the Washington Commanders. I said they'll ground and pound, and they will, but they're going to take their play action deep ball shots. George Pickens last week should have had 2 touchdowns against the Giants. I don't know what kind of rule it is that you can't double tap the foot, and that's not a TD. He tapped his foot twice. That's a touchdown. I don't care. George Pickens has been fantastic. I think he's going to have a big week against Washington, especially with a bye week in the prep there, and no Marshawn Lattimore. And this Washington team has struggled defensively. They're not super athletic defensively. Dan Quinn has done everything he can. But what he can do against George Pickens is not enough. Pickens is going to hit his over at 65.5 receiving yards.
Indeed. Locker in.
Those are your locks. So lock those in. And now, here it is, ladies and gentlemen.
When these are parlayed together, I will just say, let's see, $10 will bring you back $67, but you can take them on straight bets as well, of course.
Yeah. Classic. Always. All money-making methods are good.
Indeed.
Now,
Next
here we
up.
go. This is maybe one of the biggest. I want to say this is maybe the biggest payout we've seen on touchdown trifecta from what I can recall when we're looking at this touchdown lineup. Let's get it rolling. We already picked Atlanta to beat the Saints by more than 4. They're going to do even more than that. They're going to get Darnell Mooney a touchdown. The dude has been a phenomenal wide receiver, too. His odds are sitting at plus 185 to score in the Superdome. I imagine he does it, and does it with style. And I said the Steelers are going to ground and pound. Najee Harris at plus 100 at Washington. They're going to run this rock. They're going to plunge into the end zone. Najee's going to get in. And last and certainly not least, one of the best receivers in the NFL, A.J. Brown on the road in Dallas against Cooper Rush and the Cowboys. That Cowboy defense has been terrible, and it's also been terrible at home. We've seen New Orleans clap it. We've seen the Ravens clap it. We've seen Detroit clap them, and Philly's going to do the exact same thing with an A.J. Brown touchdown. So we got Mooney at 185, Najee Harris at plus 100, and A.J. Brown at plus 125. That's going to put our total odds. $10 is going to net you out 135. Those odds are plus 1353. Right, those odds plus 1353. $10 paying you $135. Lock it in.
Lock it in, folks.
Mother.
$10 pays $135 on that. And when you parlay those two together, $8. Well, if you parlay the triple touchdown, the touchdown trifecta with the 3 locks, $10 will make you $553. Actually, $8 will make you $553. So yeah, if you're feeling a little rambunctious, ride with us. That's a banger.
Ride or die.
Indeed.
We always ride.
We always ride. Never not
Moving
riding.
Forward after our locks, after our touchdown pick. Make sure you lock those in before 1 p.m.
Yes.
today. Make sure you lock them in. Make sure you get them squared away.
Yes.
Moving into the official game time picks. There we are. Those were our picks from last week and our current winning percentage on the season. Right now, I am looking at a solid 10-5 record, Taff, with some ups and downs, looking at an 8-7 last week. But that's neither here nor is it there.
Indeed. And I'm going to go off this week. I think this is the week where I jump over you in percentage. It's going to be a hell of a day.
So,
yes.
Is that so?
Yes, it is
well, I'm going to say we'll have to see. That's what I'm going to say.
All right. And yeah, we're going to have to see. You're going to see. And
well, you're going to have to pick differently than my picks. My picks are freaking awesome.
Well, my picks are freaking awesome too. Last week, we had Diamond on the show where he went off 11-3 for an 80% pick rate, 36-25, 60%, tied with me in percentage, and third overall among guests. You can go check him out. He's doing some lifestyle stuff, plus football stuff, plus fun and games stuff on his Instagram page /brand/banger content page at Chevy Yacht Club on Instagram. So check him out over there.
Woo-hoo.
What? And now, career record 0-0. Appearances record 0-2.
Yeah, dude.
Larry Bones. He's too famous. He's too famous.
Yeah. He's too much of a local celebrity. He's too busy, apparently.
And maybe he's affiliated with an NFL football team now.
Maybe he affiliated. I think he got signed.
Mm-hmm.
He got signed to, He got signed to the Carolina Panthers. So that sucks. He's got to go all the way to Germany.
Mm-hmm. Dang, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. He's jet lagged.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
All right. First up, we have the game that's happening at 9:30. Phil and I both picked the Giants. What's the score of this one?
It's 17-14, but for some reason the Giants just punted the ball away on 4. Well, it's 4. But still, there's 3:16. Panthers lead by 3. Man, the Panthers winning 2.
Oh, God, I'm projected to lose to Diamond now.
Oh, why?
Throw the ball to Malik Neighbors, and he has Tyrone Tracy.
Oh, 3 catches, 31 yards. That's a big yikes. That's a big
Ever
yikes.
since the concussion, dude. What the heck?
Oh, he's got Tyrone Tracy. Yeah, wow.
Oh, my
That's tough.
God.
Daniel Jones, 10 points. I should have played Kyler. I thought I was being sneaky by letting Daniel Jones play the bad Carolina Panthers, and then I forgot he's Daniel.
I can't.
Oh, well, you live and learn.
I can't believe Malik Neighbors, bro. I'm gonna start.
I lived.
I might
and I
have to
learned.
start playing Khalil Shakir over him. That's crazy. But yeah, we both picked the Giants.
You want
Giants are
CeeDee
currently
you
down
want
3
CeeDee
in this one. What'd you say?
You want CeeDee Lamb?
No, I'm good.
You sure you don't want CeeDee? He's got Cooper Rush, man. He's got Cooper Rush.
All right, Phil. You have Chicago and New
Giants.
England. I'm taking Chicago. Who you got?
I am also taking the Bears as well.
Oh, I thought you
think that they
hated
have
them,
to-
dude.
they
I
have-
thought you hated them.
Yeah, but the Patriots aren't very good. They just lost to Tennessee.
Oh, also,
I think they're
my pen has
gonna lose this one too.
been relocated. Could you jot my picks down?
Oh my god! This guy, he keeps losing his
My
head.
cat
That's it.
paws anything and everything around. If it weighs less than
Oh
freaking
my
15
god!
pounds,
Dude, you just
the cat will
you know
paw
what
it
you have
around.
to do. You know what you have to do, and I saw this in a show. There's actually a crazy idea. You know those little like those things that have like the string that like the like a key fob, but it like stretches. Like it's like the thin like rope. You know what I mean? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Like a key fob that's elastic.
Yeah, but it's got like the little rope and the coil is in like the middle of the thing, and you pull it, and so like it's like
Oh,
you know, those
it's
things
like something at the
ID
bank.
badges. Yeah, like something you have like an ID badge, and you like have like a
Oh, you
like
just have a
stretchy
pen
wire.
connected to it, so you never lose it.
Yeah, you have it with all your stuff, like your keys, your wallet, like you
Oh,
just
that's
have it
actually
connected to your
sick.
fob,
I
and
love
then
that.
if someone's trying to like mug you, they can't mug you because they feel like, oh shoot, it's pulling, it's still attached to him. How is this possible? I feel like it's like an underrated thing. It should be.
That
used
is a
way
very
more often.
underrated thing. I'm gonna get that.
It's sick. Yeah.
Very
By the
neat.
way, Bears win.
Bears
win.
win in this one. We agree. Next up we got the Niners and the Bucks. Phil, who you got?
Niners are fresh off a bye. CMC is back. Baker's looked good last week despite I have the 49ers. They're getting Christian McCaffrey back. They're off a bye. They're gonna cook.
I too have the 49ers. It's been all downhill for the Bucks, unfortunately. As much as I don't want it to be, CMC's back does not bode well. Next up, we got Broncos, Chiefs. I reluctantly am taking the Chiefs. Chiefs by 4 in a tight one because they're actually not that good. They're just barely good enough to beat all the bad teams.
Right. I have the Chiefs as well. I had the Chiefs right away. I find that when I pick against them, I don't. It doesn't really go that well. So I'm just gonna have to pick them.
Yeah, you would have a 0% success rate in picking against the Chiefs so far this year.
Yeah, that's just a tough. But I gotta roll with the Chiefs. It's frustrating. it's just
They're a
frustrating.
bunch
You can
of
never really pick-
losers, dude. Kareem
All
Hunt
right.
is a superstar. It's ridiculous. 106 yards, 4
Yeah,
yards per
dude.
carry, and a touchdown a week ago.
Dude was always a beast.
All right, next up, we got Bills, Colts. Phil, who you got?
I mean, I'm taking Buffalo. Colts looked really bad this week. Last week, I think they'll look better, but I still have the Bills. They feel way more. This feels like the most complete, I'll say, the Bills have felt in quite some time. In this like run of them being good, of them being like potential championship caliber, I think this is probably the most complete version we've seen of Buffalo. I'm gonna roll with the Bills.
Heck yeah. I too will be rolling with the Bills. I think it's a downward spiral for the Colts. And yeah. Next up, we got a masterpiece of a game coming up. Steelers, Commanders.
Be a good one.
We know who Phil's got. Phil, you want to say your piece real quick?
I'm the commit. No, I'm just kidding. I have the Steelers. Great. They've looked good the last with Russ at the helm. Pickens, I think, is gonna have a nice game. We already talked. I think Najee's getting in the end zone. I think Pickens is gonna ball. Commanders are good. I'll give them their props. They are good, but Pittsburgh always seems to play good teams close. They found a way to do it with fair consistency under Tomlin. I think I'm gonna roll with Pittsburgh in this one.
I too will be rolling with Pittsburgh. Well, actually, God, see, this is the thing about playing from behind. I think if there's any game, like this is a banger matchup right here.
Oh yeah, it sure is.
Give me Washington. Give me Washington.
All right, pick your poison.
All right. Washington, I think they're going to keep it rolling. Chris Rodriguez, they've just got a great system. I think Najee's going to have a great day for the Steelers, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
Right.
All right, next up, we got the freaking on fire Sam Darnold, who has had great games this year. 28 for 34 last week, 290 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions despite that. But, water under the bridge. Justin Jefferson, 7 receptions, 137 yards. Aaron Jones has been a very serviceable, solid, quality running back this year. 64 yards. He's doing what he does. He doesn't need to be Saquon Barkley or Derrick Henry or any of those elite backs that we know. He's just doing his thing. They're squaring off against the Jaguars, who are without Trevor Lawrence and will be starting Mac Jones. Phil, what you think about this one?
I am not picking Mac Jones to win a game.
What? No way.
I refuse to pick for Mac Jones. If I'm not doing it. I'm rolling with the vibe.
Yeah.
Justin Jefferson's too good. Kevin O'Connell's a good offensive coach. Darnold's playing well. And it's Mac Jones.
Makes a whole lot of sense. I, too, will be taking the Vikings. All right, next up, we got Falcons, Saints. Saints have fired Dennis Allen and will be their interim head coach will be Darren Rizzi. They are hosting the Falcons. Phil, what you think? Any Squidward in the gated community syndrome at play here?
Nope. Atlanta.
What? No. Yeah, I will also be taking Atlanta in this one.
Yeah, I mean, this is just the Saints are just that bad.
Indeed.
That's the consensus.
They
the
are
Saints
atrocious.
are just that bad. But
7
you never
straight
know.
losses
They
will
could,
turn to
they could
8.
prove us wrong.
They
They could prove us.
They could. I'm surprised that the spread is that small. I couldn't tell you why.
It is well, if it's because they're at home. I think they're giving them the benefit of the doubt that maybe they believe in the Squidward in the Gate Community Center.
Maybe. All right, next up, we got Titans against the Chargers. The Chargers are sitting at 5-3. The Titans eked out a win against New England last week. Calvin Ridley had a surprisingly good game for the Titans. J.K. Dobbins got 2 touchdowns for the Chargers. Phil, what you think of this one?
I like the Chargers, dude. They have shown that when they play bad teams, they cook. They cook, and they've cooked the last 2 weeks against a bad Saints team and a bad Browns team. This is a bad Titans team. I think Chargers will cook, and they will win this game.
I'm with you.
Harbaugh's building a nice culture there.
Indeed. Harbaugh is doing something. He's cooking something up there in Los Angeles. All right.
Los Angeles.
Next up, we got my New York Jets against my soft spot, the Cardinals. I will be going against the soft spot this week, taking the New York Jets. Phil, who you got in this one?
I will gladly take the Cardinals. I
Really?
feel confident they are at home. They've identified a clear culture. They've won 3 in a row. They're building something. I understand the Jets had a great half last week. One half is not enough for me to go ahead picking them all willy-nilly.
Man,
I'm
even
going with the Cardinals.
after the Jets' historic win against the Texans, come on.
It's not his. Just because it happened,
Totally.
that doesn't mean it's historic.
It's
It's
history.
history, as in it happened.
Historic.
Okay, fine.
Historic.
I've picked my nose in kindergarten. That's not historic.
No, that's
like,
historic.
dude.
Philip
That's
White
historic.
picked his nose.
Sure did, dude.
Yeah, so did I.
I'm proud of it. Got to keep it clean, baby.
That's true.
I don't take immense pride in it, but I am proud.
Indeed, you gotta be proud. You gotta love
Don't got
who you
regrets.
are. You gotta love what you do, love who you are.
There are much worse things you can be than picking your. Just we'll say that.
Indeed.
Could be worse.
Indeed.
Could be worse.
I've got the Jets going into Arizona, taking it.
He's taking the Jets. All right, I am taking the Cardinals.
Boom. Next up, we got Eagles.
Moving forward.
The Eagles, the Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley led Eagles against the Cooper Rush led Cowboys team. Micah Parsons is back. It is in Dallas. Phil, who you got in this one?
I got Philly. No Dak. That matters. Cooper Rush is a solid backup, but against a Philly team that's starting to get it together, that is an incredible deep ball team, is just capitalize on the big plays. They got Saquon. They got AJ Brown. They're gonna win.
Yeah, I'm with you. Eagles taking this one. Cooper Rush is 5-1 as a starter, but he's going to have some hiccups today. And at this point, you got to not have those hiccups in order to keep up with this Eagles team, man. They look good. Next up,
I agree.
Sunday Night Football, Lions, Texans. Phil, who you got?
No, Teff, who do you have?
I
Keep the
have
nasty
the
on these.
Lions. I have the Lions.
I have the Lions as well. Feel
Indeed.
that Houston, they're gonna get Nico back, but I don't know what he's gonna look like coming out. Detroit, again, like we talked about, they feast, they thrive, they love embarrass a team. I don't think they'll get embarrassed, the Houston Texans, but I don't think they're winning this one.
Indeed. Oh my God, I just looked at this. Yo, Malik Neighbors has doubled his reception total. He now has 6 receptions for 50 yards. He's on the field, 17 seconds left in the fourth, down 3. Harry just
my
texted me saying,
gosh.
dude, no.
Dude, no. Oh, they're in Carolina territory. Oh, they're gonna take this to overtime. Come on, Daniel Jones, overtime, 80
What's
yard
the yard
touchdown.
line? What's the yard line?
Like 32. It's at the 32 right now of Carolina. So, my
Oh,
gosh, man, I
man.
need him to do something because maybe Justin Herbert doesn't have a big day against the Titans. Maybe they just win. Maybe they just run the ball a lot.
Are they
This is
kicking? Are they
bad.
getting their kicking unit out?
I do not know the answer.
Malik
I
Neighbors
don't know.
touchdown. Malik Neighbors touchdown.
Well, they have no timeouts. There's a chance that they're gonna have to. Well, okay, Carolina called a timeout.
Classic
Ooh,
Carolina.
Daniel Jones legacy.
Daniel Jones.
Daniel
legacy.
Jones
I'm throwing on the game right now.
All right, let's wrap up these picks though, real quick. We gotta wrap them up.
Okay,
we got
okay,
one
yeah,
more. We got one more pick, and then Miami
2nd and 10
versus the
for
LA Rams.
Danny Dimes. Okay, yeah, Miami versus the LA Rams. Let's see. I've got. Oh, this is like low key the most challenging pick. For me, give me the LA Rams. Who you got, Philip White?
I have the Rams written down as well. I have the Rams taking it, and I part of me want to take the Dolphins, but I'm gonna.
So wow, our
Yeah.
only differences are the games involving our teams.
Well, you know what? That's how it is. That's how it is, man. That's how it goes. And I feel lickety split. I feel lickety split. You know what I'm saying?
Lickety split, mate. But yeah, that was the show, fellas. We're gonna hang around for a bit to catch the end of this
Show.
Giants game. The Giants are lining up on 3rd and 7. They've got to get it out of bounds on this one. Remember to check us out on Discord, all of our social media. And oh wait, that's last week's. How did that happen?
What do you mean?
We
Because it
forgot
was
to dupe it.
You didn't remove it. It's already there. Social media and Discord.
Oh no! I'm talking about the bets.
Oh well, yeah, but you didn't have to go to the slide 45 minutes 46.
You ain't have to do that, Taff. Taff, you ain't have to do that, Taff.
3rd and 7.
But yeah, get your locks
Lock in.
in, get your picks in, get the touchdown trifecta in. Let us know when it cashes, and just say thank you. We just appreciate a good thank you.
Indeed, we do appreciate
3rd
it.
and
Thank you. Thank
7.
you for being here.
Thank you for being here. We're gonna catch the end of this game. It's 3rd and 7, 13 seconds left.
Daniel Jones
Danny
lined up in a
Dimes
shotgun.
throwing it out of bounds.
Oh, you're ahead of me. No.
We all knew that was gonna happen. He was gonna throw it out of bounds, and
That's
on-
borderline intentional grounding, bro. That was a pathetic throw.
there was a receiver in the area. Just
how do you
let
miss him by that much as a
That was if he
as an
completes
NFL
it, he gets
quarterback?
tackled. If he completes it and it gets tackled in bounds, the game is over. They gotta kick. He's gotta make sure it's incomplete, dude.
Ugh.
But
All right, now they're lining up for the field goal attempt.
you know what the worst part is? These teams are so bad, and yet they're saying you have to watch overtime. You have to watch more.
Panthers call a timeout to ice him. Wow.
I don't know. They might.
Wow. I
All
wonder
right.
why they sent the Giants and the Panthers to Germany of all teams. Like why aren't they showing
what's
like
funny?
the
You have a feeling
Lions
he's
and the
gonna
Chiefs?
kick.
Nah, I think
You know
he's
what's
gonna
funny?
hit it because they're trying to give the
I think
German
I
fans
think he
a
misses
show.
this kick, low key.
They're gonna give the German fans a show. He's gonna hit it.
Oh, he did hit it.
Oh, stop!
I mean, no, he missed it. He missed it. He
Oh my
missed it. No.
God, he hit it. He hit it.
Oh my God, he missed it.
Bryce Young's ready. He says, "Put
Dude,
me in at kick
Bryce
returner,
Young-
coach." And
Bryce
we're gonna
Young,
run this
5
kickback.
seconds, throws the ball deep, pass interference, kick field goal, win game.
I like it.
I would hate that. That would piss me off if they threw the ball deep and they just get a pass interference. Like, I'd be so mad.
No, we actually need a Malik Neighbors.
Wait, is
touchdown.
Dable wearing glasses? He looks weird with glasses on.
He does.
Unless that wasn't him. I don't know. I was like, dang, he's wearing glasses.
Man, I can't believe Tyrone Tracy is like consistently doing better than Malik Neighbors. Like, what is going on, man? We need
Dude,
a
I'm gonna
touchdown
need
from him. We need a touchdown from Malik Neighbors in OT.
I believe.
I believe. Believe.
Believe. Ah! Believe! Ah! Believe! Ah! Believe! Ah! Believe! I love that. That's like the best end credits to a movie. Ah! Believe! Ah! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Go! Go! Go!
Stop it.
He didn't go. He got tackled.
Oh God, you gave me a stroke, damn near.
I'm a troll.
But-
You know what I mean?
All right, people, thank you for watching. Go Malik Neighbors. I'm rooting for somehow a Malik Neighbors touchdown and a Panthers win.
Yeah, I don't know how that's gonna work.
Well, you would have the Panthers win the toss, open with a touchdown, and then the Giants score a touchdown.
It doesn't work. Whoever scores a touchdown first, game is over.
Oh yeah, you're right. That's playoff rules. Well, it's a win-win. I'll be happy with one of them, no matter what. So
Oh, look at this hardest image ever: Bryce Young and Daniel Jones.
this is crazy. Yo, can you stream your window of the game so I can see it? But thank you for watching,
Yeah,
fellas.
sure.
Go lock your parlays in. Ride with us. And yeah, have a great day.